And we're rolling.
Bada boom. Okay.
Sure, I will totally recap in the best that I can. So we went to and I can't remember the name of it, but we went to the mines, and there was like the shanty town filled with the tents that was around it. We, of course, I think there was like some trading that went on between some of the characters, and oh, the bacon. We got rid of
The
all the
bacon.
whole bacon.
The moldy
That's funny.
bacon.
Yeah. And so we got rid of the bacon. We talked with the foreman about closing
Keith,
the mines.
just a second. Keith, stop it. I don't know, like you're recording over what's like whatever it is that you're playing, I can hear it in here. So mute your mic if you've got
I had
something
it
else going.
muted. I
It
had
was
my
still
mic.
picking you up.
Weird.
Sorry.
Okay,
I'm
never mind.
I'm
No,
too
that's
ADD
fine.
for that.
No, that's fine.
Okay, carry on.
So we talked to the foreman, and of course, Paul opened his big mouth and screwed up that whole conversation. I think we came close to,
Eden helped.
yeah, I think we came close to getting arrested, or at least detained in some manner. But somehow we convinced the foreman to go with us to go check out the mine. And so we ended up going down into the mine, and then they collapsed, like one of those creatures collapsed part of the mine behind us to trap us in. And then all hell broke loose with these creepy mind devourer creatures that just dis- destroyed us. Like, who I don't even remember who's the first person to get like taken. Was it
Well, it was
was
Scylla and uh
Eric.
Eric. Thank you. Yeah.
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 And somehow we managed to defend them, to fight them off long enough to get everybody out, and we came, I don't know, within inches of losing like two or three people,
So
Hmm.
close.
and somehow everybody survived. So I know I used up like most, if not all, of my health potions. So all but one to keep everybody alive. So yeah. So and then we managed to get free. The I guess the miners were able to open up the mine shaft behind us and come in and help get us all out. And so then now we're finding ourselves at the end of it all, trying to figure out, I guess, what are we going to do next? Like we know some of these mine devourers are obviously in some of the miners. One of them collapsed the tunnel behind us, so we know one of them's out there for sure. And so yeah, I don't know.
So yes, Metter, the foreman, is collecting all of the miners, trying to evacuate the mines now, having everybody go in and do that, and gathering people kind of at the mouth of the mines. Um, with that, Paul has been uh, back and forth about how well, not even particularly back and forth, but either suggesting like just killing everybody or cutting off their hands until you've figured out who's infected and who is not. Um, Scylla and Eric are still unconscious. Eden is not, but barely. So Eden has a gnarly headache at the moment, because his brain is still trying to reform as best it can. Uh, so he's still struggling a good bit, but he's at least conscious. Yeah, the other two are unconscious, but you had them save some of the healing so that you could at least get people back if you uh, had to knock them out to be able to get the creepy crawlies out of their heads. Um, so that is where you currently are at the mouth of this cave with all hell breaking loose, trying to pull everybody um, forward and evacuate the mines. Um, what what would you like to do with all of this? There are people kind of pouring out. They are pushing folks out without really telling them what's going on. Um, so there are a bunch of confused looking miners pouring out from the 4 different channels. Are there specific actions you guys would like to take?
Paul is literally saying to the whole party, we need to get every miner like in one area so we can get so we know where everybody is, and we need to start get them tied up or lock them away and just start going through them one after the other, seeing who's infected and who's not, and getting it taken care of.
And they
Yes.
are
Sorry, go ahead.
they are kind of keeping them all to the mouths of the cave because they know that this is a risk. Metter has put kind of a security perimeter just around to just kind of get everybody calmed down as they come out and be like, we got to check things, stuff like that. So you do have assistants kind of controlling the crowd.
Now, quick question from Jason. Now, you mentioned previous, in the last game, if I'm not mistaken, that they had said that there were instances where they could literally see that people were different. They were worn down, they looked like their skin was paler, and then they looked like they were sick, and then after a few days or some period of time, that's when they would disappear.
Yeah.
So there is a physical, there is a physicality you can see a difference between an individual when they are not taken and when they are taken. Did we notice that? Was that an immediate change whenever that happened to our party members, or was it could you not immediately tell that, oh no, there's definitely something physically different with them?
The behavior was an immediate change, but as far as some of the physicality, it wouldn't have taken hold yet.
Okay.
So as far as immediate infection in habitation, if it has just happened, you probably wouldn't see the skin symptoms or things like that. But in my mind, the way that I interpret this is if something is new to inhabiting and captaining a vessel, it's going to be a little clunky. So you will see some of the motor things that are a little bit strange, or you can, depending on roles and stuff. Some of the motor function while the devourer is trying to learn how to pilot the new ship. It's
The new flesh
Yep.
mech.
Yep. There will be some things around motor function, things like that would be a little bit more obvious.
I go up to the foreman, and the first thing, before any other conversation is had with anybody else, and I literally go and I say, find me whoever you guys know has been acting strange the past couple of days, and bring that person to me tied up right now.
He actually doesn't fight you on this at all. He just nods and he calls one of his security guys over and has them. He gives him a list of names and make sure that you bring them here. Check the camp for them. Any of that. I don't think that they were assigned duty. These other two should have been in the mines, so I'll look for them personally as people are filtering out. So the security guy is headed over that direction into the camps with one other person to see if he can get those people.
One more Jason question too, just so I got my memory right. Whenever we killed one of these things, we saw there was a physical reaction from the other ones, right? There's some sort of a hive mind
Yes.
thing going on. Okay. I thought that was the case. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So it doesn't take too terribly long for most of the other ones to be stirred up, brought to you. So there were 2 in the camp. There would have been 3 in the mines. One of them has not come out yet. And there's a possibility that he won't. But at least right now, there's the 2 from inside, the 2 from outside. So they're brought forward, and are trying really hard to look like there's nothing wrong.
Sure. Anybody else doing anything before I start my interrogation? I don't want to like hog the start.
Eden is just staying with Scylla and Eric.
Keith, anything specific?
I think Teffin is still trying to catch his breath and trying to keep from just babbling and going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Because that was a rough fight.
It's probably the hardest fight that Teffin's ever been in. Yeah. So yeah, the foreman kind of directs the others because the security guys are not going to be ushering them over here already tied up, because like trying to come at somebody with ropes and whatnot probably wouldn't have gone as well. So the one from town like brings them over, and then like, and I'm sorry about this, I'm really really sorry, Joe, but and starts kind of getting them tied up once they're over closer to you.
I walk up to them. I was like, put them on their knees.
Oh.
Execution style.
Put them on their knees.
What? Roll me an intimidation.
16.
Okay, let's see. Check and see. Oh, yeah. He just kind of like, yes, sir, and just like shoves their heads down. Like, ow, why? And you can kind of see that there's, in the middle of questioning this, there's this dawning that happens. Almost like there is something that has been communicated as they've gotten closer. And the two that are right there from the tent village are now very frightened.
Yeah. I pull my axe out. And
can we do some perception check to make sure we think that this is an infected person?
I'm walking up to one of the
He's just a normal dude.
and I'm getting face to face, like so close they can smell what I had for breakfast on my breath. Like that's
Bacon.
how close.
Paul doesn't really brush his teeth.
Paul's never brushed his teeth. He gets up to him and goes, I'm only going to offer you this the only time. I'm going to tell you this. I know you can hear me. If you get out of these people now and go back down to where you came from, we'll call it quits. But if I have to cut the heads off of every goddamn miner in this place, I will kill every one of you, and then I will come down for you. Your choice.
Let me call this up real quick.
Eden's gonna cast Hold Person on the body so it can't go anywhere.
Now keep in mind, they have tried to take me multiple times and have never been able to do this.
This is true.
Yep.
And I have killed a lot of these fuckers already.
This is also true. Okay. So the first one was the intimidation for the guard. Go ahead and roll me an intimidation for the devourer.
With Eden's help, could we say advantage? Because he's going to make it so that the host can't move.
Yeah, actually, for sure.
Okay. All right. 22.
22. I would say that's effective. And in this particular case, especially with that, like realizing that it can't pilot the body anymore. The intellect devourers, both from these two, teleport out of the body, leaving it kind of just beginning to bleed from all of the facial orifices. and teleport to a space 5 feet ahead um, to start hauling ass back towards the mine or hauling brain. And I don't know that
or
it
whatever they have.
So
don't know
there's
that
a
it has that particular body
so
part.
there's a click whir from over in at Teffin as he's the gem in his chest plate starts to warm up. He doesn't want to fight, but he will if he needs to. What are these things doing?
Paul just he keeps his axe and he is just following him, dragging his axe all the way to the mouth of the cave that we just got pulled out of.
And they are running for the hills. They are trying to get back to home base pretty much. Because they're not sure if you're actually going to keep your bargain or not. So, they're hauling butt. Do you attack them now that they are out and clear?
If they're fleeing and they're doing what they said, I won't kill. I told them you get every out of every single one of these miners and you go back where you fucking came from, you can live. So
There's still one in the mine. We need to be there like now.
So, the other two that have come from three.
You said there was the
yeah,
one in front of us and the other two, right? So 3
Yeah,
total.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah, from the mine, there's still one that is missing. Um,
now when they teleported out of those other ones, are
mhm.
they conscious or in that are they like completely out of it too from
They're
after
out of
that?
it. To be inhabited, your brain has been devoured. So they are unconscious.
Okay, but are they dying or they're just unconscious?
They are dying, but the cleric is right there.
Okay.
So the cleric will be able to at least like buy them some time, get them some healing potions that were in the little what's the word? Hmm. Their little emergency med surge tent,
Okay,
stuff
and
like
is
that. So
there so there's one more person down the cave that we need to go.
there is one more person down the cave. Whether you go in after him or not is your own business.
So
If Paul goes, Eden will follow.
yeah,
Eden's
I'll
just
go
sort of
down there
still sitting there.
to try to get that other person back.
So you guys are following?
I'll cast Spare the Dying on the people that the spider things just came out of,
Awesome. You will
and
buy
then
them more time to be seen too. Good.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Paul.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
this
and
winds up, Paul, if I wind up dying because of this, I'm going to kill you.
That's not how
we're
death works,
gonna
my
take
friend.
this thing out with us, that's for sure. So, but I'm just going down as far until I see the other guy, the other miner that's down there, and then get that
Okay.
miner out.
Let me roll for a couple of his actions and just see what this is like for him. Oh, okay. So now he is going down. This is actually going to be the one that ran out and tried to trap you guys in. Um, he took refuge down one of the other tunnels and is kind of now outside the fork of like 3 and 4, trying to kind of stay undercover, seeing what's happening. And as the other two run past, you can kind of hear a little bit of a chittering. Um, Go ahead and roll me a perception, anybody who's going with.
Oh, I have to get out my elves thingy magic group.
I've got a 15.
15?
22.
I've also got Eagle Vision, which lets me see things from a really great distance.
Well, that's
7.
convenient. He rolled a 7 too, so his stealth sucked a lot. Um, you guys are definitely able to make him out.
7. So
Um,
I see nothing.
okay, so yeah, two of you were able to easily make this guy out, like trying to hide in the rocks, like watching his comrades kind of pass, running, screaming back in for the
Dead eye stare
screaming.
directly at the guy, and just I don't even pick up speed. I just keep dragging that damn axe, walking towards him. Like I already know those things have told this guy what the hell's up. So like I'm letting it know with just my stare, like that you are coming out of that brain one way or the other, by choice or by force, but you're getting out of that brain.
Roll me an intimidation for him.
22 again.
Oh, if it hadn't had worked, he'd have just gone deeper into the cave and you'd have been surrounded by these things. But that is high enough. It is effective. It stops him in his tracks. He clearly is thinking about turning and just hightailing it down deeper. But he stops, and you kind of see him thinking really, really hard about the next move.
Hold
And
the
then
axe up. I see that thinking. I see the thinking.
he, and he teleports out of the body, and it just slumps down to the ground. And the devourer begins running backwards, and you can almost hear this deep groan from deep within the cave system, and it's not like a singular creature. It's more of a whole ambiental effect, just this deep groan that almost sounds like the earth itself is not quite roaring, like aching um, from underneath. And the man just slumps down, bleeding.
Sure. I pick him up, toss him on my
Um,
shoulder.
Eden still doesn't know he has healing, right?
Oh, kind of forgot about that. That wasn't something that came up when they were.
Well, because Eden was supposed to die, so.
Yeah.
Uh, I also pull out the stone of healing that I have,
Mm.
and I toss it to Thea because I don't know how to freaking use the thing. But
Oh yeah,
Finally!
yeah. Now you're gonna get the curse, though.
Is it
I
cursed?
I have to actually go back in my notes and look and remember what the
you
heck I
just told
wrote
me
down
it
for
was a
that.
stone it's a stone of healing. You can cast mass cure wounds twice a day within a 10-foot radius.
Yeah,
So,
this is the painted rock that he
Yep.
licked all the off of.
Yep. And you don't find out if there's a curse until you're able to use it. So
yeah.
Oh,
So I
fun.
toss you the rock because I shout down the tunnel that the mine devourers were going down, and I said, "If I have to come back here, I won't offer you the opportunity to flee again. You remember that."
Oh,
And then
please.
I
Ow.
just start coming back up the tunnel.
And spare the dying.
yep, that's a good solid choice. Good deal. So you're able to actually recover all of the different people. Same story with the ones from inside the camp too. Um, and it's you're able to get everybody like solidly stable. Um, because of the amount of healing used and things like that. They they did end up uh pretty much getting their own guys conscious first. Um, and so Scylla and Eric right at this moment are still unconscious but stable. Um, they've been trying to suss through the chaos of trying to get everybody out, making sure that nobody else was looking like they were showing any kind of symptoms of motor issues or things like that. Um, but
I walk back up to the foreman. and I get right up near him, and I grab his shirt to pull him down close to my face. And I look him dead in the eye and I say, "So are we shutting down the mine, or do I have to take you down there and show you why you are shutting down the mine?"
Oh no, I saw. I saw. I'm shutting it down. I just have to. I've got to get everybody out. I have to call the people in charge of the refineries and make sure they understand what's going on and figure out how they want us to close this off.
Yeah, you do that. And then
Um,
I just throw him off of me, and I say, "I need a fucking drink."
Eden will just hand you his flask. It's really
And
terrible beer still.
Paul just goes in a corner and starts drinking from the flask.
Excuse me, sir. I have a suggestion to make. Um, my head really hurts. We need to go and find all of the entrances, any opening of any size, probably within a mile or two. So, like, people side by side with poles to make sure there is no openings, checking under every rock. And then when we have found all of them, we need to seal them all off, and we need to start campfires or big bonfires of some sort, Nate. And then we need to funnel the smoke down there until everything is gone.
Do you imagine that they can be smoked dead?
Smoke to death? Probably. Most things without oxygen will die.
Could also draw them out. Do we just want to try to collapse the cave on them?
I mean, that is an option too if you were to pump gases down there for a lot of gases and then just explode them.
That's
I don't
not
know
a
that there's
terrible
that
idea.
much gas on hand, my friend. If the mines are if the mines are as extensive he as it seems as though they are, it would take quite a bit of gas and quite a bit of smoke for that matter. I'm more in the camp of let's just seal every exit.
But these things seem as though they can just walk away. I don't know if it is a good idea to just seal it if they might be able to dig through.
Uh,
They want that's
I,
what they more than
ideally, ideally we sort of need to sweep the mines in numbers, more numbers than we
Um,
have. Honestly,
I don't know if I'm willing to risk the lives of more people by sending them in.
mm, fair.
I
I
mean, is there any kind of poison gas that we can just pump down into there? Put a really long tube as far as we can make it go, and then just.
It's a possibility, although that will take time. We can collapse the exits for now, the exits and entries, um, and leave something that might be accessible to such a thing. But it would take us time to get a shipment in to be able to pull that off. But I think that we might run into that regardless, because the system is large enough that it would probably be a multi-day uh, endeavor to attempt to comb and find any outlet that might exist under the sand. Um, so it might take us, we might be held up for a while anyway in doing that. That would give us enough time to get something like that here. And we could have a bonfire sort of situation set up. And if the gas is flammable, I suppose it could kind of be a two two pronged attack between the smoke and the poison gas, and the ability to flame it. Um, I'm not sure if I'd be willing to entertain other ideas, but I don't want to send more people in there, uh, especially seeing how many fled uh, with your initial attack, if we send people down there, I'd not had to be. So,
And strong is different than skilled in fighting.
indeed. So, I will attempt to have a shipment of, uh, I suppose, a pumpable gas uh, that could be highly toxic brought in to pump into the cave system. And I will set large groups together to help comb the area, and have
I,
the
I would not do that until your healers are rested.
that's a good point. I'll also send for more the healers that might be available from Song. I know that there aren't many, but any
Yeah,
that they
we have.
have would be useful. Just leave them with one to be able to get them through a few days. Uh, I'll go and make my contacts. I've got the ability to send to most of those people, so um, I will contact them and get these things moving so that we can get this mine closed down. And he looks like an exasperated mess. Um, and he
Hey,
kind of
just next time if someone says, hey, a god said to do this, maybe consider listening first.
We
I
just
didn't
do.
kick you out.
But you did almost die, so I mean,
He just kind of like sighs and shakes his head.
did you?
As he's walking away, he does kind of look over his shoulder as like anything that you need food and drink wise is free. Uh to all of you
Damn
guys.
right it is.
I said that to this one.
Yep. Like poor poor Allie and Bert are gonna just have no more booze, although that'll make traveling back to Song significantly easier because it'll be a lighter load. But but yeah, they he
We should get paid for this job too.
I don't know that they're going to have anything in the way of extra money, because they're probably going to have to pay all of the miners who now are out of jobs. But I'll see if I can ask God if he can help you with payment.
so yeah, the foreman goes and meanders back to his tent to start making all of his contacts. Um leaving a whole bunch of miners deeply confused, and people are trying to get them caught up to speed. Um, his kind of assistant, uh, oh, I had him down here, Quintatl. It kind of uh, gathers everybody up and in groups that can hear him start to say what's going on and that they're having to close production and or the mining and all of that. And there is a weird combined effect of relief at not having been a victim of this stuff and also like severe concern, disappointment, all of that at like not knowing what their life is going to be now. Most of these people heavily relied upon this for a multitude of things financially. So there's it's a real mixed bag of emotions right now. So yeah. Um,
That.
Eden is just gonna go lay down between Scylla and Eric and close his eyes.
a nap.
Just out in the sand, take a nap.
He's gonna wake up super sunburned.
Actually, at some point, Kettle's gonna come out of the mess tent, and when he sees you three laying there, he's gonna kind of like come over and,
I
"Hey, you alive?
don't want to be.
You look real toasted.
Shit.
You 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 need some help?" And he just kind of like picks you up and throws you over his shoulder. "Oh, is that okay? That okay? Does that hurt?"
It's everything hurts, so you know.
"Oh, okay." And he picks up Scylla and throws her on top of you, and picks up Eric on the other side, and just like lays you in the mess tent, so at least you won't be sunburned any worse than you already are. It is nowhere near the level of burn that Paul got by being sunburned and then immediately following that sand riding a sand bat like
I'm
naked and
exfoliated.
yeah, naked through the dirt. Yep. So yeah, uh, you you get to take a nice long nap now in the mess tent.
Uh,
Um, are
uh,
any of you guys doing anything particular while all of these mechanisms are getting underway?
uh,
Eat Thea, drink with me.
I'm probably gonna go back to the cart, check up on Quimby, and then lay down and try to recover myself for a little bit.
Okay, okay. So Paul is having Thea drink with him.
Sure. What time is it?
Uh, this
It's been
I'm
like
trying to remember what
morning.
we said.
I
It's
mean, it
not
was the
even late
morning.
in the day. I think that you guys went in there like right after breakfast, right?
Oh, like
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah, it's like just after lunchtime. It would be like a late lunch sort of a situation. It's like one or two.
Hey, look, we are good at getting shit done. We are efficient.
Like when you consider each of those rounds was 6 seconds, it might be even shorter than that. But like, oh well, I guess with having to get everybody out of the mines and all of that sort of thing, probably you earned the one or two spot pretty decently. It took several hours, so you were only in the mine for a real short period of time, and the whole rest of this time has just been trying to get the organization to get everybody like out and then deal with the ones that were still inhabited. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Well, yeah. I'll go day drink with Paul.
Done.
woo day drinking.
Yeah.
Dealt with the issue, and he is celebrating the
I
victory.
guess I'm gonna kind of also while we're drinking, just wipe this stone off because I know that it's been in Paul's mouth and start working on because I think it had to be attuned, didn't it? I
I
think
don't
it
know.
did. I just
I
remember looking around that you were attuned to it because it was in your mouth.
Yeah.
yeah, it's an attunement thing. So yeah, you have the now cleaned Paul's mouth stone. Uh and so you'll be attuning to it kind of while you drink.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, they are good to their word. Allie's kind of the one serving stuff up right now. Bertiel is doing uh, doing some maintenance in his area, like starting to kind of strap things down because at this point they have gathered that they're not going to be able to be there much longer. So keeping out enough to try and keep morale maybe a little bit high, but also preparing to have to move. So Allie is keeping you well in line with drink. Are you going for the paint thinner stuff or the ale?
I'm mixing it up. Just bring it
Cool.
on.
I'll go for the ale.
Good deal, good deal. Paul, give me a con save.
My con is there. So, Oh yeah, 23.
Oh, you're fine. You're good. Thea, like the first little bit is gonna be fine for you because it's just ale, but go ahead and roll me a con save. We'll see how long you're able to keep this up. 18?
19.
19. Well, not too shabby, not too shabby. Yeah, you're able to keep going since you're on a lighter drink, you know. This is not too bad. Like, feel a pleasant warmth and whatnot, but you're far from being drunk. You've still definitely got your capabilities about you. Um,
I don't remember, and I didn't put this in my notes. I don't think we gave away all the bacon. I
no,
know
you did
that
not.
I know that I purified all the bacon,
I
but I
think
think
you've
we
still got like 4 pounds left, you said.
to use for trading. So I'll just, get like a handful of it and just like put it on the table to share for me and Paul while we drink.
Did you write down you have the stone of healing? Okay. Did you write down it gives you mass cure wounds twice a day? Twice a day, and it's a 10 foot.
Possibly first.
And it's a 10-foot radius. Because I just erased one mark.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Paul's just gonna drink and get drunk until we're ready to leave.
Good deal. So I imagine that you're probably not going to be getting underway today, or are you going to be pushing to get out today?
That's really Eden's call because he's the one who's kind of
Yeah.
got to make sure everything's kind of closed up here. So
Yeah. If he wants to oversee everything today. Or Thea votes to stay, but if he's okay with going, we can go.
Stephen, we can't hear you if you're whatever you're saying.
Nope.
Can't hear you. So.
I saw you mute earlier. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Nope, wrong one.
It would not be a game without, to be fair.
Of course.
Eden is suddenly mute, which would be a problem for a bard. It's not be good.
Yes, but you sound very far away.
Well, you were because I was there to hear it.
Got nothing that time. And it was super soft when you said, "Could you hear me now?" Uh-oh. We'll give him a second to come back, and if not, we'll carry forward, figure it out.
So, but yeah, no, for Paul, he's just whatever the party wants to do. This, Stefan, you went to sleep. You're not drinking.
Yes.
Still got nothing. I don't understand.
You're a little punk. Let's go.
Let me check your Discord settings.
Well, while he's trying to figure that out, at some point after a couple hours of drinking, Paul is going to try to wake up Tefan to drink.
Come to the bar with us.
Come on, man. Drinking, you're cool.
Yeah. At some point, Paul's busting open the door of the car. Oh, before he does that, he does bring a big bowl and he pours a big thing of ale for Quimby.
Aw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
So,
you get this impression from Quimby that he is just wildly fond of you. Like you
oh,
are.
yeah, plus this part. I'm like, Devin! Victory is on our side! We must drink!
Do we have to?
Yes!
Alright. Give me a second. Then he pulls himself together and sort of, rearranges his form and comes out of the cart.
Hmm.
Okay, fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are.
Yes.
Sorry, I stepped away because my headphones died, and so I had to find like something I could plug them in, and then they decided not to connect voice. And anyway, it's all fixed.
Gotcha. Yes. Whew. So we've got Teffin now going to get drunk with Paul and Thea.
Going to have a
Like you did.
drink, not to get
Going to
drunk.
have a drink.
Tomato, potato.
So yeah. Yeah, that's not how that goes, Steven. It doesn't work for you either. I caught that, sir. I caught that, sir. Um, yeah, so Teffin, go ahead and are you getting the strong stuff or are you sticking to ale?
No, I'm sticking to just ale.
Okay, are you just having the one?
I poured some shots of the strong
Just the
stuff for
one.
everyone.
Oh, so he poured you shots and you're not taking them?
He just gives you a flight.
I'm gonna stick with the one that I ordered.
I I crawl up onto the table, like on all fours, and point at him. It's like, Tevin, we defied death today. You will drink with me. We will celebrate.
Eden's not there.
Yep. Technically, actually.
I have a drink though, Paul, right here.
I grab the shot, which is looks bigger in my hand.
It's like a
Yeah,
in your
it's
hands.
looks like if I was to like a whiskey glass for me, like
Yeah.
a snifter. And then I pick up your shot, I put it right in front of you, and I go to hand it off. I'm dead eye staring at you, Tevin. You will drink this crap with me. We will celebrate.
Is it celebrating if you can't remember it in the morning?
That's the best kind of celebration.
I think technically it is.
Do it.
So I'm gonna
Do it. Do
take it from him.
Yeah.
Please tell me that's Thea saying that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Do it. Do it.
Raise up the glass to victory and survival and good friends.
Aw. Aw, Paul.
First time Paul's ever called any of y'all friends, by the way. And then he takes the shot. So he's right behind you.
Are you trying to be discreet about that?
I am timing it for when Paul is throwing his back so that he doesn't see it.
Okay.
Or-
Okay.
You want to roll for that?
Sure.
can.
I will roll a sleight of hand for that.
Sleight of hand versus perception. I guess maybe at disadvantage since he's trying to time it so that your head is backward.
Sure.
Evan's ear is just covered in booze. 'Cause-
15.
I rolled a 19.
Okay.
Okay. So managed to get it past him. Thea, if you wanted to see it, you could roll. Whether you tattle on him or not is a different story.
What is this perception?
Yeah.
Ooh, 13.
Nah,
Nope.
Nah.
Excuse me.
totally took a shot with us.
So, yep, you're gonna ignore like the slight grunting sound of the person that was kind of passed out on the floor behind you that just got soaked in, you know, pretty much diesel fuel. But
And then
yeah,
I'll drink my ale.
awesome, awesome. Um, so Eden, uh, you are in the mess tent, which is like kind of immediately adjacent to uh the drinking tent. And every now and then, while you're napping, Kettle just comes over and like puts something in the side of your mouth because he's worried that you're not like doing okay, and he wants to make sure that your blood sugar stays up. It's it's rarely good, but it's never terrible. Just like,
It's really good, but it's never.
yep, yep.
That's
Y-
fantastic.
Twinkle.
All right.
No, I'll be fine.
Eden's awake. Eden, come drink with us.
Why are you so loud?
You look like
Actually, maybe that would dull the headache until the morning. We can put this off, right?
sure.
Uh, have Sela and Eric woken up yet?
So they haven't, but they do look like they're getting a little bit better as they've rested, and it does seem like maybe somebody has come by and like given them a little bit more healing, but minor stuff. Um, but you do see where Kettle has attempted to do kind of similarly, and so there's like little cigar shaped rolls of like sausage and cheese just kind of like stuck out of their mouths as they sleep. Uh, which he made sure to make it long enough that they wouldn't choke, but he wanted to make sure that they had something to eat.
Like you
This
do?
is how he knows. This is all he knows. And he's worried about the nice people that he met last night. So yeah, they are still unconscious, but they are at least they look okayer than they did.
So Eden will sort of shake himself and push himself to his feet. He'll step in, and like the noise of that tent is just too much, and he'll hold up his flask in like a salute to Paul. They'll take a swig and then turn around and walk back to their tent.
So you have your salute shot. Um, and are you continuing to drink from there? Or are you gonna like keep on drinking to try and dull the pain?
Drinking
He
to get
might.
like. Oh, I thought you were starting.
Yeah, I think he will probably drink enough to dull the pain and then just go to sleep.
Just right on the mess floor.
Yep.
Okay. So there's a collection of mostly alive bodies on the mess floor, just sleeping it off.
Have I been attuned to the healing stone yet?
Yeah, after an hour-ish of being there, you do attune to the stone. Um, and so you've got that now. It is one of those things where like you feel like something's a little different, but you don't know what yet. And you're not likely
Ooh.
to right away. Probably won't come up for another couple days. There might be a little something interesting about it. We'll see. We'll see. But you do have the ability to use your healing stone now.
So I was gonna say I could sneak over into the mess tent where they're sleeping and try because it's mass cure. What is mass cure?
When
Yes.
I
Like
have to
does
remember.
a healing for everybody. I'm pretty sure. There's the case.
Yeah, I have to remember how much.
2D4? 3D4?
I thought that one was. More than that,
Wave healing energy.
up to 6 creatures.
Units. Each target regains hit points equal to 3d8 plus your spellcasting.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think you're thinking of mass healing word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
so
there's also mass heal as well, which does like you get like a certain amount of hit points you get to get.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
700.
So this one is 3d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Legit.
Yeah,
I'll
for
see
up
you
to
over there and set off mass cure wound.
awesome. So go ahead and roll what you're giving them.
3d8. Three, 8, plus 7.
18.
18. 18 plus 5.
Nice.
Who needs to move?
You just hear a cracking as Eden's neck pops back into place.
And on that one, since Scylla has a lower bank of health to begin with, like that brings her back up a good chunk past halfway, I think. And so she starts to come to a bit. Eric looks like he's almost there, like he's actually like responding to things now a little bit, but it still seems like it's from a sleepy, groggy stupor.
Chew,
So
chew, chew.
I, what? What is this? Oh,
Mm,
where am I?
Hey,
on
you're
the
alive.
floor.
Why am I on the floor? Oh, oh, that's why I have the headache.
Mm-hmm.
But we're alive?
I mean, you're not dead.
Are you sure? Because this
Yep.
is. Hmm,
If there was someone who would be able to know that for sure, that would be me.
that is fair. That is fair. Oi. So are we leaving now? Did they shut down the mine?
Yes.
That's good. I think I want to go home now. And she just kind of curls back up and like leans forward, and you can kind of tell she's not all together with it. Um, but uh, but she's
Go to sleep, dear.
okay. She just kind of like passes out in a little bit of a slumped over, like half of her little thing is eaten, still in her hand. And yeah, so you're able to actually get her back conscious. Um,
Thank you,
and
Thea.
That helps.
The headache has certainly lessened.
good job. So, do you guys discuss what's next from here to figure out your game plan?
Does anybody ask? Because Eden's probably not in a frame of mind to think about it.
I guess that's it. Do you need to rest more and we can just figure out what we need to do in the morning?
That would be fine unless we want to get it underway. I don't even know what time it is. We could leave if we want, as long as everyone's okay. If I'm just like in the back of the wagon like usual, but maybe less vertical than horizontal.
I mean, the ride here, we bought stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait till the morning. Oof, we should probably set watches, so that nobody ends up eating again.
That's fair.
The
Well, I
solid
think
plan.
I should probably sleep. So, you done drinking, or you want to keep drinking?
He is. Paul is going to drink until he is.
Okay.
Until he floats away.
Y'all get some sleep and keep drinking, and me and Tefton, I guess, will figure out kind of a watch schedule.
Okay, I'm sorry, but thank you and have a good night.
Rain was mush. So.
Scylla
I
kind of
mean, I'm
pops
not
up.
sure. Go
Scylla
ahead,
kind
sorry.
she kind of like pops her head up, like kind of halfway listening. Is like, I'd take a walk, and kind of like slumps back over, half
Yeah.
asleep.
I'm not sure that the brain sludge is that different than normal, but it was more painful this time, so good night.
So you guys are able to kind of day drink through until the evening. And Kettle, seeing that you guys have been over there for a while, he just like very happily, it hasn't fully dawned on him that he's about to be out a job and it's probably going to be hard for him to find another place to cook, seeing as he's not the best cook. I don't know though. He's doing all right with what he's got, so maybe he'll be okay somewhere else when given better stuff. But he's excited that you guys are out and okay and have apparently saved the day and hasn't put two and two together about the other ramifications of this. Brings you guys like the best he could come up with, which arguably is pretty decent this time. It's not restaurant quality food, but it's like, what you might make yourself for lunch or something like that on a day where you don't want to go anywhere or do anything. So, it's,
Bachelor food.
yeah, like grilled cheese sandwiches and like some like a nice hearty stew. Uh, Brings that out to you guys and plops it down in front of you. Uh, and like will actually, I don't know, does Eden take Eric and Scylla anywhere? Or
She's not moving.
so he's just gonna stay in the mess tent. he
Right on
he
the floor.
Yep. This is a great branching out for Eden, who is usually oh so fancy. Um, Kettle is going to put trays of food at like each of your heads for when you eventually wake up. But yeah, he'll come over and put food in front of each of you three uh, at the bar too. So Teffin and Thea and Paul are all brought specially catered meals by Kettle.
Thank you, my
No question.
friend.
Paul
Yeah.
just eating,
Eating, drinking, being merry.
and drinking,
Thank you,
singing
Kendall.
songs and downing ale, and until he passes out.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. So what's going on with the watch system here? What are we doing?
Well, we're in town, so I'm not sure that watches are strictly necessary. But that being said, Teffin had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a clear his head moment, and he's feeling a lot better. So, um, like maybe not like totally put together, but he'll sort of keep an eye out on the goings on around town while he's you know putting the wagon back in order, and or not that it was ever out of order, but making sure everything is ready for another trip through the desert.
So if you're paying attention to what's going on around town, roll me a perception check.
16.
Okay. Um, like there is a lot of tumultuous emotion happening. People are getting themselves ready to leave, knowing that it's coming soon.
Okay.
So you can kind of tell people are gathering their belongings. They haven't struck tents yet or anything like that because the foreman has asked them to help with finding the openings and all of that kind of stuff once they have backup there, and more healers. But there is kind of an air of unrest about people, but there are a couple of people who seem more distressed than others about this turn of events, um, that are kind of trying to feign like blending in with everybody else's emotion and whatnot, but kind of having an occasional like shady conversation to themselves and whatnot. Um, you see a little goblin is one of them, uh, dressed heavily in a sand shroud, sort of a situation. Um, there's a really, really tall, lanky, elven fellow who is uh, incredibly disappointed as well. And it just kind of seems like wherever these two go, uh, there are others who are of similar disposition, that seem especially disappointed and are having kind of quiet conversations amongst themselves when they can. So, yeah.
Do they ever come near the wagon?
I mean, they probably pass by at some point. They're not like investigating your wagon, but uh they do pass by it from time to time. It's a small like single strip little tent village they
Okay,
serve.
so
So
are they like when they come by, are they like talking specifically where I can hear it or anything like that?
they'd be whispering, but if you're paying close attention and they're not great at keeping themselves as quiet as they think, you might be able to pick something up. Go ahead and roll it for me. Oh wow, it's a terrible deception. You probably are gonna beat them.
With
Perception.
a stick.
Yeah.
Perception is going to
Or
be a
investigation. It's gonna be a
uh,
what?
perception's going to be a dirty 20.
Oh yeah.
Dirty.
So you hear the goblin who is whispering, but it accidentally is like a stage whisper, to the taller guy because he's trying to get him to hear, and he's probably like 6'3". He's really stringy, but he's 6'3". So you've got this little goblin trying to whisper to this guy who's like, 3 times his height. Um, and you can hear this. We'll get another way to get it. We'll figure it out. We'll get stuff as we can, and there's got to be another place. There's got to be another way. And if there's not another place, we'll figure it out. We'll get back here somehow. And just kind of keep going.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Man, those ones are.
All right. So gonna file that away and sort of keep an eye on where they are and where they're going, but I'm not gonna let it like stop me from doing what I'm doing.
Fair. Yeah, so you're you're able to kind of check out the town and stay on top of things pretty well. It's not really anything that seems to be happening from the mine. Every now and then you'll hear what kind of sounds like a little bit of a groan from under the earth, but like nothing seems to come of it. Um,
Okay.
just kind of like a this like hollow sounding drone. Um, but yeah, you're able to all the other stuff that you're doing as far as your nighttime routines, all of that good stuff, you're able to do without any conflict, really.
Okay. Cool.
Via anything specific that you're going to be doing or looking for, trying to keep Paul from uh, anything like that.
yeah, doing my best to keep Paul from, like burning the place down. Um, and then she's like gonna like back off drinking.
Somebody probably needed to.
Was
The mess tent.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so sorry. I hate when I do. How many entrances are there?
So the way that it's generally set up, any of the shared spaces like this, it's one entrance, but it's a really wide one. Like the tent flaps on that side are really quite wide. Um, and so when they roll them up, they don't like pin them to the side. It's like they roll it up almost like a screen. So most of one side of the tent is open. And then there's also like because it is adjacent to the booze tent, there is actually an opening between the two, so you can kind of sort of see from one to the other.
From the last game, like there was the mess tent and then the booze tent, but then wasn't there a place where we slept?
Yes, there was like
Was that?
a like sleeping yurt situation.
Yeah. Okay. So in the yurt, how many entrances were in there?
There were like three different entrances around since it's a circular space. There were three different kind of more door, just general standard door size tent flaps to that.
I'm just trying to think because I was wanting to set alarm before we go to sleep tonight. And if we're in the mess tent, I can only set it on one door, so that would probably be for the best. We just stayed in the mess tent.
Well, since, three of you are passed out there anyway.
Three passed out in there.
So Kettle is delighted to have you stay. He he goes like full on Italian grandmother and is like tucking you in with these oversized like hand towels and stuff like that. He doesn't really have blankets or anything. Um, and it doesn't dawn on him that he can probably just go over to the yurt and get some. But he is so determined to make everybody comfortable and happy, that like he actually marks off because generally speaking, this has been used 24/7. Um, so while he might not be the person manning it all the time overnight, like he isn't used to having to shut down. And so he doesn't actually shut it down, but he does like mark off with like utensils and stuff, a big square. Once you guys have uh, figured out like where you're going to be crashing, he marks off a big square to keep anybody from just like, this is their spot. Don't go too close to them. And like just marks it off with all of his cooking utensils and whatnot, to make sure that you guys are left alone. Um, and unfortunately, because he is being so attentive, he also bothers you a fair amount because he wants to make sure that you're never given a chance to be hungry or thirsty. Uh, so in some weird way, it's a long night, but you're also very, very well taken care of. He's a good fella, Kettle.
I'm gonna kill him in the morning.
No. Well, yeah. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on Paul and just the comings and goings of people. Trying to keep an eye on our sleeping companions.
The longer he sleeps, the more Eric looks like he might just make it, but you do notice, like, as the night goes by, I mean, of course, you're going to be sleeping at some point, but um, Eric is starting to get, like, pale and clammy. What, Steven?
So his brain was basically reconstructed, right?
Yeah.
Was it reconstructed still addicted?
Ooh.
For his drug problem.
Oh shit.
Is
That's
this how
interesting.
we solve addiction? Is we just blow up people's brains and then like magically heal them?
Now,
Um, we
that's
gotta
going
go
to
get
depend because there's more than one, like, it's not just the brain that's impacted by that. Like, there's chemical dependence that the body has too, but it is driven by the brain. So
That's
Mhm.
true.
that's a
Yeah,
really
because it's
good
that
question.
homeostatic balance that drives addiction. So like
Okay, so we're gonna go evens or odds. Steven?
evens,
Evens?
evens.
It's odd. So
Mm.
apparently, yes, he is still addicted. That was a really good call, though. I'm gonna throw you an inspiration for thinking of that because I sure wouldn't have. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, didn't work out. He is still addicted, although it probably would be a little bit less. So he's not. He doesn't look like he's super in danger or anything, but you can kind of tell he has a little bit of a little tremor here and there. Um, a little bit clammy, not quite as pale as he would be otherwise, but yeah, just having some light symptoms of withdrawal. Um, yeah, and you guys are able to rest for the night. Your alarm spell does not get tripped.
Is it just when random strangers walk through, or what is it? What is the answer?
Yeah, I think it's anybody.
Because Paul is definitely
Anybody that is not designated by the spell.
Okay.
okay. So because Paul's going to stumble in and out of multiple.
That's
Say
fair.
that.
Paul's
Say,
going to stumble in and out of the tent multiple
ah,
times.
gotcha.
You know, he's a small person, so he has a small bladder.
So Teffin sort of wakes up rested, refreshed, and starts tinkering around um, in the cart. You guys from outside, you can hear like the sound of tools working and hammering and tapping and whatnot. And when he comes out, he's got a um, he's got a like a pair of goggles over, tied to the top of his head, and in place of like glass eyepieces, he's got it set with a couple of gems, a couple of emeralds, and he's got slung over his shoulder. Um, looks like sort of a he has worked leather into sort of a jug or canteen shape, and as he's bringing it out, it kind of sloshes a little bit. As an artificer, I can replicate magic items,
that's pretty cool.
or I can choose infusions that let me replicate magic items. So yeah, he just created himself a pair of goggles of night because he doesn't have dark vision. So now he does.
Very good.
And since we're in the desert, he also replicated an alchemy jug.
That's
Yay,
awesome.
mayonnaise! I mean
No,
water.
water! Water!
For
Magical mayonnaise.
Why would I want
point of reference,
mayonnaise?
we tried really hard and did to an extent weaponize mayonnaise in one of Keith's last campaigns, much to his chagrin,
It was
because we
not the
realized that it's highly flammable.
it was not the mayonnaise from that fight that really bugged the mess out of me. It was the fact
Hmm.
that as designed, the big bad evil guy came out. He's this terrible archlich Asarak who's like all big and bad, and in the lore of D&D, you don't mess with him. But he comes out onto this very narrow um, platform
Little platform over
that
lava.
oh, which and between him and the players, there's this pool of lava, and the distance is such that he can't cast spell or he can't cast counterspell, but they can cast silence. And all
And
of his
all of
spells
his spells have
require
verbal
verbal
components.
components.
So we had 3 layers of silence
So
going
they
on.
just silence on top of him and nerfed one of the baddest bad guys in the history of D&D.
It was great. But also we really annoyed Keith with trying to weaponize mayonnaise the whole freaking campaign.
It is, there was that. Once they
Mostly
looked
my
it up and
wife.
figured it out, it was like,
Yep.
why? Why?
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Big Bang
Uh,
came out was allergic to mayonnaise.
So anyway, but yeah, so we've got an alchemy jug, and we've got and Teffin now can see in the dark.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. Okay. So yeah, you've got those. Anything else that you guys want to do like overnight wise or just rest up, get ready to go in the morning?
Pretty much rest up and go with everybody else when we're ready to go. Where are we going next?
We talked about. So Eden will have woken up and mostly been over his headache. Yes, so we talked about going down to the Heartland place to find someone who can use the weave to find our bad guy, Koshe. I assume that is still the plan?
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Okay,
So
then that is what we need to do. We need to go get an airship to do that.
And Scylla's kind of waking up by that point and she's like, so you're going back to Two Rivers Run, right?
Yes.
so it would seem. I think that's the closest place to catch an airship.
So we have to go back to Song first and then to Two Rivers Run. And I know most of the people on the docks there, so we could probably get you taken care of reasonably quickly once we're back there. So one day back to Song, and then it was a long ride, but most of the day back. I want to say I said that was a day, but like a really long day back to um Two Rivers Run as well. Maybe
I don't know,
longer.
because we flew, so
I
And we grabbed all the wrong
heard that Paul knows of a weed walker that's in the castle of the Crystal Spades.
Yes.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
that
but
is
know that he's a walker. Like Paul knows this person.
Or at least knows of him. I don't remember how we
yeah, I
figured that.
think you know of him, but you don't know him personally. Like you would have heard because you guys were mainly in the Heartlands. You would have heard about there being a Weave Walker um in the Palace of the Crystal Spades.
Okay.
But I don't think you would have known him personally because he doesn't get out of there too terribly much. He does a little travel here and there, but not he's not the face of things, so he's not in the spotlight much. So you would have heard of him to know that they were there. Um, so yeah, that would be down in the Heartlands, which is why you guys need an airship to take you back down. So yeah, uh, you are able to get everybody up and together the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the foreman will come in and thank you all for what you did the day before and tell you how much that's appreciated. He has put in a call and is getting more healers sent from Song. They're leaving 2 there for emergencies. And all of their other healers are coming out. Like one of their healers is that they're leaving is more advanced, and one of them is kind of more a beginner, and all of the rest of them they're sending out to help, along with a couple of big entourages of people to help them sweep for entrances. Um, so
Be very careful.
of course, I'm sorry that I didn't believe you, although I doubt that I'm still going to be particularly inclined to believe just anybody who walks in and says that God said something. But in this
I
case,
mean, give it more thought next time.
you know what? It's not important. I feel as though the the fact that I let you into the mines at all to examine proves that I was giving it more thought than maybe I would have had you seemed. I was about to say more unhinged, but let's face it, you seemed that anyway. So I don't really exactly know what criteria I should judge based upon, but I'm appreciative that while I have no idea what's going to become of us anymore, at least we have the choice of figuring that out.
Um,
Well,
I mean,
you
does
know
your
what they
company?
say, shouldn't judge a book under covers.
What was that?
Yeah,
Said you shouldn't judge a book under covers.
yeah, judge it above the covers. Anyway,
Hey, y'all ever heard this before?
Sure. I'll not judge books under covers.
Yes.
By the
um,
way, by the
oh,
way,
good.
um, on the subject of helping perhaps clear up other like problems
Mhm.
hereabouts, um, and I'm gonna turn and look and see. Can I see the goblin and the guy he was with?
Um, roll me a perception. Like it's pretty busy. People are beginning to really take to heart that they're gonna have to be moving soon.
They took her just.
23.
23. Okay, and they're not really particularly hiding, so yeah, you're able to make them out, and they're with another squirrely looking guy. Um,
Okay, so I'm gonna point them out to the foreman and says, those gentlemen walked by here a couple of times. They seemed a little bit upset, a little bit distraught, and they were talking about how they could get it now that things were closing down. They were kind of worried about it. It sounded a bit suspicious to me. You might want to talk to them.
Huh. I might need to talk to them as well.
would you care to first, so that me discussing things with them won't put them on high alert?
I
Sure.
could talk to them. You guys need me to talk to them?
Actually, Paul, I would love that.
Should I perhaps recant my
You should
previous
not.
offer?
Nope. It's
Nope,
too
we
late.
got this. Grab my axe.
And Eden's gonna reach into his bag of holding and pull out one of the vials of memories.
He kind of.
This came from here. I suspect that that is what your friends are upset about. And he's gonna put it back in the bag.
What do you
So,
aim to do then?
oh, we're just going to have a stern talk because clearly they need to get their lives in order.
I agree. They will still have their lives to be able to get them in order when you're done.
Well, it depends
I
on their
mean,
answers.
probably yes.
Yet. Fine. Fine. Jeez.
No, I don't intend to kill them, but
Can
you
we
know,
please, I would prefer that. Like
Me too.
he kind of turns the other way and just shakes his head and walks off.
And
What
so
question?
Aiden's gonna draw his sword first, and he's going to say, "Oh, I'm just going to make sure that they understand that if they ever go into these mines, if they ever sell drugs again, if they ever, steal the memories of the world in which we currently reside, that I will um, break every bone in their body before leaving them without ears or noses."
Okay. You know what really gets a person's attention if you really want to, like, serious?
What is that?
Start by taking a finger.
That does get their attention, but then they might not hear the rest of the things that I need to say because they are screaming.
You'd be amazed at how closely a person will pay attention when you remove a finger.
That is fair. Let's hold off on that though. I
Scylla has kind of attached herself to your side by this point again, and is just like listening to the back and forth. You know, you could cut his finger off after just to prove that you were serious, but after you had already explained things. And she thinks about this like after she's already said it and went, "Have I been around you too long now?"
Mhm.
Oh, and it was such a short time.
Uh, Actually, I believe you've been around Paul too long now.
Hmm.
It's how we deal with Paul though, because Paul has his own ways of doing things, and most often they are very effective.
Yeah,
However, I don't think it would work this time.
okay.
Or
That
it would
is, yeah.
work, but we should probably should leave them their fingers since they have to find a new line of work anyway.
Ah, that is true. That would that might be quite limiting, I suppose.
Mhm.
Okay. And she just kind of smiles and nods and kind of hangs back to let you do
Um,
what
out
you're.
of out of curiosity, there's no undead within 30 feet, right?
Actually, no.
Okay,
Yep.
I didn't figure so, but
Yeah.
it would just, my sword apparently glows within 30 feet of the undead, so
I'm glad you reminded me of that though, because it might come up soon.
fair enough.
So
So Eden's gonna have it like out and at his side as he walks up to them. Excuse me, gentlemen.
the elf kind of eyes your sword a little uncomfortably. Hey, what's
You
going on?
you noticed the blade. The blade is from God, actually. The one who sent me here to hopefully save the rest of you. So, at the request of the god, none of you are ever going to go into that mine to pull out memories ever again, or I will use this beautifully made blade and remove your ears and your noses, and leave you to the rest of your life to regret the choices that you have made.
W-
Eden's gonna pull out with his other hand the vial from in his bag.
The the elf looks really like bashful about it, but the goblin kind of just has one of those more "oh shit, I got caught" kind of looks.
So, do I make myself perfectly clear? Because my friend back here with the big axe, he said that I should take off a finger to make my point. I thought that we would be merciful and not do that, but if we are at all unclear, I can let him drive the point home.
Is it finger time?
Just a minute, Paul. They are making that decision.
We didn't have anything to do with that. The goblin says like, well, what gives you the right to come over here and talk to Thread like that?
Yep, no, it's finger time, Paul.
Ah, no,
Start with the little
no.
one.
What?
Shoot, I just literally zip right in front of the goblin and be like,
No, no, no,
"Which
no.
digit?
No.
I'll pick." I grab his wrist.
Yeah. Um,
It's finger
let's
time.
do an opposed grapple check real quick. Oh, jeez. Why do I roll so bad when I'm DMing? I never roll this bad when I'm a player.
20,
That's
34.
why.
Well, he rolled a 2. So you
They're like
definitely
is there like a table or anything near us, or is it just like are we just in an open space right now?
right now just an open space. Look, okay, whatever you say, whatever you say.
Okay,
Yeah,
Paul. Maybe we can let him keep the
But
fingers temporarily, but he has been warned that he will lose more than fingers if he decides to go back into the mine ever, at any point in his life, or if he encourages anyone to go into the mine. Is that perfectly clear?
I okay, I won't go in the mine. I won't go in the mine. I won't do any of that. Yeah, we'll
So,
steer clear.
uh, I suggest that you find a profession that is more suitable to an upstanding man of society.
Okay. Well, do you know what jobs? Do you know where we can go? What we can do?
I pull
If
the
you
wrist tighter and pull him in a little bit closer. I know a
Ah!
lot of jobs that don't need all 5 of your fingers.
Ah!
um, it is my understanding that work aboard airships is both profitable and in high demand.
There's some strange like time loop here where this guy ends up going and becoming Nate's character now. Like some chronergy wizard like got something real messy happen here. Like this is that guy's origin story.
I
Oh
was
dear.
thinking it. I was gonna say it.
Oh dear.
Sure.
Like, okay.
Uh, does everyone here understand that? Because, and he's gonna just use some like minor illusion, and he's gonna make a compass and just make it pointing directly at each of them in turn. Because I can find you, and I will find you.
Especially with Paul being there too, like roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Woohoo!
I haven't let go of this goblin's wrist, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, like
So,
it's starting to swell and throb a little
that's
bit. Like
full
26.
oh yeah. The tall elf just kind of doesn't even bother like saying anything, and the smaller guy that's with them, not as small as the goblin, but the human fellow's like, yeah, I understand, man. Yeah, absolutely. And the goblin's just like, yes, let go.
Do we want to know who the person they work for is?
Actually, that would go a way to appeasing my short friend here.
Well, this
I want a finger, so you tell me whose finger I'm taking.
okay. So we work with a guy out in Two Rivers, and he comes in to song now and then called Samden, and that's who we give most of our stuff to. I don't think he's the top, but he's as top as we go. Kind
Thank
of.
you.
Well,
That
Ray,
was very forthcoming of you.
I have my hand back now.
no, what's his race?
Oh, Samden, he's a tiefling.
What color?
He's blue. He's
Where
he's
can we find him?
he's got like really bushy eyebrows, and he can't grow like a whole head of hair, so it's this weird ring around the horns. It's I don't know why he doesn't just shave the rest of it off, but
I turn to Eden and I say, I want a horn instead. Can I have one?
ah!
Oh, from the tiefling. I don't see an issue with that.
Like Scylla's still within earshot, and you can kind of like see her. Ooh.
I don't see an issue with that if he's sending poor folks like these into dangerous lines to collect
Yeah,
drugs to
yeah,
hurt other people. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Pull the goblin in really close and I say,
Ah!
I am so very proud of the decision you've made today to better yourself. I hope we see each other again. And then I let go of the wrist.
It looks like he's just about to pass out. Like he's being supported by the elf guy. Like, "Oh, thank you, kind and generous sirs. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting us improve upon our situation.
A good day
Yeah,
to you then.
yeah, to you too.
Yeah, now leave.
Uh, we can't. We gotta comb the place for exits.
I think that would be a good start. And, mind the things that eat your brain. Those were not particularly fun.
Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can show them to you. Do you want to go see them?
No thanks. No thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But that
Solid.
is why you are looking for exits, to make sure that those things do not get out and hurt
Okay.
somebody else.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We're gonna look real good. Thanks, misters. And he kind of like dusts himself off and kind of shakes for a minute, and then walks with the elf the other direction, like thoroughly freaked out and kind of talking back and forth. Like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Where do we go? We can't do this. We can't. Okay, and just like back and forth with
So just
the
a
taller
quick,
stoic guy.
just a quick aside. Are we about to take down like a drug, like
I mean,
drug?
at least the local branch.
Like, are we about to go on some like side quest to take out like this like underground drug like organization?
They said Sandon was in Two Rivers.
Yeah, blue tiefling, balding around his horns, super bushy eyebrows.
Yep, I mean it could happen. This apparently I accidentally set people up for this kind of stuff in this world all the time. Drug cartels, rings of slavery, all kinds of things. Like I don't know what it is, but I accidentally set people up in these situations a lot apparently.
So
I also
once Eden and Paul have sort of walked away from them, Teffin's gonna sort of look around real quick, count out some coins into a little pouch, and sort of jog after them. Excuse me, gentlemen. And he's going to toss the pouch to them. To get your life back in order, and then turn and walk away. It's 50
Like
gold pieces.
the goblin opens it and is like, "What? Really?
I'm ignoring them at this point.
Thanks, mister." Yeah. He's
He's gonna go start his own drug cartel now.
Yeah. He's gonna split it with the guy that's walking next to him and kind of carry on about their business. Good deal. All right. On the road
thank you,
again?
Paul.
Well done.
Yeah, that
We
was
should-
very well handled, Paul.
Now what?
One finger. That's all. We just needed one finger. I don't know why we didn't just take one.
No, I think that you are right, though. We should take a horn and a finger from the next guy.
Okay, I'm in. You don't have to convince me twice.
Okay. So back to Song first, and then back to Two Rivers Run from there. Now, we're going to need to fly, probably, from Song to Two Rivers Run to be able to make it as quick as possible, correct?
We can hire one of the things you said that you came in with the sleds, the sleigh things, the bumble fuzz, the bumble fuzzes.
Yes, we did.
We should be able to hire one of those in song again. So
I think that should be our plan then, yes?
we could do that. And we could hire those weird little spinny things, but they're so small. It would probably take, like they're fast, but they Only one per
I'm
person.
going to gesture to the wagon.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Poor Quimby would be very, very unhappy, I think, in one of those little things.
Yes, quite.
I would not mean to make Quimby uncomfortable. So that is well then. We will find him a better mode of transportation. Um, okay then. She's gonna go over and look at Eric and check and see kind of how he's doing. Um, are you able to get us to song again? Well, are you okay? And he does kind of still look a little clammy and whatnot, but he's handling it better. Um, it seems like he's trying really hard to avoid uh having to use anything to wean again. Um, probably not going to totally make it, but it does look like he might be able to already handle a much smaller dose than what you were doing before. Um,
Perfect.
I I th- I think that I'm decent enough to guide us back. Yeah. Um, and with any luck, with it being a bigger group, like there are some people already kind of packing up to go back. With there being other people moving that direction too, hopefully the size of the group will keep us from having to deal with too much of the
Wildlife.
yeah, exactly. Um, I think that'll be okay. We can get back as far as there tonight and leave out in the morning. I think we should be okay.
Eric, do you wish to continue with us after that? We would not
Well,
force you to do anything, but
I don't know that I really have anything else. I've got some friends outside of Milidani, but
what about your mother?
she passed. Um,
Did I know that?
yes. And
Oh, I would not
actually,
have said that then.
oh, okay, okay. Uh, never mind. That did not happen.
No, because that would be really, really not tactful.
Yes.
Hey, what about going home to see your mom? Your dead mom.
Like a visitor grave. Uh, she, or he kind of thinks about it. It's like, if I'm honest, I don't really have a plan for what's next. Um, it was always my intention to not have to work here my entire life, but I got stuck in a bit of a rut. Um, I would be willing to go with you, but also if I would be in the way, I could kind of go back to Military where my friend is.
You wouldn't be in the way, but what we are doing is very dangerous. And I would not wish for you to take that on um, without your knowledge.
He chuckles and he chuckles and kind of looks back at the mine. Well, apparently I've been putting myself in great danger for quite some time and not even fully realized the extent of it. So at this point, I can't imagine that it would be too terribly much different. Well, okay, very different. Um, but with regards to the idea of putting myself in harm's way, at least it
Well,
would be a change of pace and amongst friends.
fair. And perhaps we can discuss this further as we go. Um, there may be other opportunities that arise, and none of us would fault you for leaving, though I do enjoy your company.
He smiles and nods, like as I enjoy yours, and really all of you that I've gotten to know so far. And he even nods. He hasn't gotten to know Teffin especially well just yet, but he kind of nods to Thea and uh, in Teffin's general direction some, but more to the people that he's talked to more. So uh, like Thea and uh, Paul to a lesser extent, because you guys actually sat up and talked for a while, so but I quite enjoy all of your company, so it would not offend me to continue in it up until an opportunity comes up that, for whatever the reason, seems more fitting for me, or until unless you at some point decide that I would be a hindrance, in which case I'm happy to find something else. I'm sure that I'm resourceful enough I can come up with something if I need to. So,
Certainly. Well, I suppose we should probably get on the road then, around the sand or whatever.
Indeed.
pack it up, head it out.
I'm going to hide in the back of the cart again because in leather armor it is bloody hot out here.
And I will try to keep it cool, Cecilia says with a smile, and kind of already starts blasting some of the little spots with something to help.
AC.
Yeah, creating some AC in there. And Eric, he doesn't actually say as much, but he's going to sit up front. He feels bad that he put all of you guys in danger the day before, and so he wants to be looking out the whole time to try and make sure to keep you out of danger on the way back to Song. So,
Okay.
he's heading out with you guys that direction. Where is everybody on the cart?
Driving.
Driving.
Naked on top.
Naked on top, sunbathing again. Oh, and there are other people in the general vicinity too, so that's really funny.
I assume
Just-
I assume there's something of a caravan headed that direction.
Yeah, it's a small caravan because there are still a lot of people sticking it out until they're able to close off the entrances and exits to the caverns. But yeah, there's a small caravan going ahead now, getting some of the folks that wouldn't be as useful in that context back to Song, to kind of their little tent village on the outside of Song, to kind of reassess and figure out what they'll do next. So, yes.
So also in the back of the wagon, Eden is gonna start writing down his thoughts because in Two Rivers Run, the last time they were there, he promised to teach a class on music, like a quick master class. So he's gonna start writing down notes for what that'll be.
Okay, very, very cool. Excellent. Anybody else doing anything in transit?
So in the back of the cart, is it just Eden, Scylla, and Thea?
Apparently. Yeah, because yeah.
So I'm gonna pull out my book and just be, writing some notes, our journeys and writing about the fire monsters, and then I'm gonna telepathically talk to Eden and say, when we were fighting in the cave, I saw your wings. You want to talk about that?
He blanches.
Scylla kind of turns. What's wrong?
You can answer me telepathically.
I don't think Eden's gonna think about it though. No,
Would Thea say that at the end of her?
No, I was just telling
Oh,
him.
okay.
It is not often that I find myself without words, but
And he's saying all this out loud. Scylla is like, well, that's okay. You don't have to speak if you don't want to.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is there something on my nose?
No, 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 of course not. Uh, shit. Um, so apparently when I was brain dead yesterday, some people might have seen the things that they were not supposed to. And
What?
he's gonna sort of like, because he always has his cape over his back. He'll sort of just like pull both sides in so that his wings are a little bit exposed. Um, so nobody knew about these previously. What would you like to know, Thea?
Just seems like something interesting about yourself to hide.
What's your airspeed velocity?
Laden or unladen?
If it makes you feel better, no one else saw them. I just was trying to drag you away from the spiders
For
thing,
which I am grateful.
and that's when I saw them.
Yeah. They are not part of me that I am particularly comfortable with. I did not have wings before I came here, and I don't know that I particularly deserve them. So, except in the most dire of circumstances, I do not use them.
So wait, you said you didn't have them before you came here?
Before I came here, no.
Do most Outworlders not have wings, though?
That's
Not that I
Paul.
am aware of.
So it would not be unusual for you to not have wings.
It would not be unusual to not have wings. It would
Correct.
be unusual to have wings.
It
The
it.
double negative has thrown me off.
I'm sorry.
I'm not quite sure what you were saying,
Well, you said you did not have it before,
and I
and
do now,
you
and
do
I am
now.
not comfortable with that.
But they were given to you as a gift, and we've discussed this before. But apparently, since you are being open about it now, like,
I was not being particularly open until I was confronted about it.
well, you started the conversation.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, she didn't hear. She didn't hear.
She just
I,
kind of looks
So
sort of confused.
why did you talking about it? Like,
I have a secret, and I'm not going to tell you. Well, why'd you bring it up then? No, Thea asked about them.
Oh, you okay. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I,
You're fine. I try not to do it often because I don't want people thinking that I'm just invading their minds. But I didn't know if he was comfortable talking in front of you. I figured he would be, but I was just trying to be.
I
she giggles a
appreciate
little.
that. But she has definitely seen them.
Figured as much, but
has Paul ever seen things, or has he
Oh, that's
seen
a good
you?
question.
He might have at some point if they were ever flying, like if they were ever in a situation where he would have had to pull them out. But generally speaking, he hides them underneath his cape. I don't know, I'll leave that up to Paul.
Well, I mean, you're the one who follows me around all the dangerous adventures I go on. So, you know,
Maybe we coin flip it?
dangerous and how long you've been with me.
It's true, it has been a long time. Let's coin flip it then.
So, because I mean, were you with me at like the major battle when I was with
N
Hook?
Nope. Eden came in shortly after that.
Because that was a battle. We were on airships for part of that battle, weren't we, Danny?
You more actually water ships on that one. There were ships in the seas that had kind of converged to the outside there. Not so much the airships because you would know that they had actually cut off connections to the upper worlds during that period of time to try to keep the spill out from the under coming out from infiltrating further up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, let's just coin flip it. Evens or odds?
We'll say evens. I've seen it. Odds, I haven't.
You have.
Okay.
So you at least know that they exist.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I don't want to, pry for any information that you're not, or anything that you're not comfortable sharing. But if you are hiding them because you're ashamed of something that you should, think they're a gift. You know, especially if you didn't have them before, they were definitely a gift given to you, and shouldn't be
I
ashamed of.
I'm I actually agree. Well, I suppose I shouldn't say actually as though it is a surprise, but I do agree with her.
I see your true colors shining.
Carry through.
So
Guys
do
are
you
having.
think you are of the opinion that I should not hide them? And so the rest of him is a little bit sunburned and like red, but these are like just flesh colored,
I think
maybe
green.
extra white.
Oh no, I just have sunscreen. It won't help you now. But
Yeah,
sorry.
it's all good.
Somebody.
You are of the opinion that I should not keep them under a cape? I think the cape is kind of dashing. It sort of like billows in the wind and stuff.
Sure.
It is quite dashing.
Kind of gives you like a whole mystery quality. That's fine.
And they are
All right.
very unique wings. So if it is that you do not wish to answer questions about them because they are so unique, that is one thing. But you carry shame with them, and that is, I feel like, its own shame.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe at camp tonight I can pull them out or something when it's not going to get them sunburned because that would be painful. I don't know that they've really seen much sun ever.
Mm. Yes, we should probably get you some aloe vera or something when we stop in Song.
See, what I was always told you do when you get sunburned like this is you wrap up in a wool blanket and you sleep that way, and it is like the most uncomfortable thing for like 24 hours or whatever, but then after that you don't feel your sunburn anymore.
Ah, I never heard that.
Hmm.
But then I'm also pink, so I don't sunburn very easily.
Like she's probably fire resistant or whatever, so
Heat resistant tiefling.
yeah. Um, yeah. Oh
Avoid the
no,
sun.
that's fair.
True.
For someone who works for Dream, that seems rather fitting.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly.
Yeah.
okay, well, I'll consider it. Thank you. I'm sorry that I kept that from you in case it ever would have been important, but
You know, if I fall off of an airship again, since Byron's not with us, I might need you to jump in after me.
did Pyron's wings let him fly?
Did
I,
I think Byron jumped in after me, didn't he?
That
well, I
wasn't it.
jumped after you actually.
Yeah, but you might think it was Pyron. I forget how that worked, but you didn't know that it was. You didn't know what happened when he caught you.
Well, no,
No,
because
there was
Eden
a
didn't actually get to you in time. The other
Oh, that's
two
right.
jumped
That's
off
right.
after us from the ship.
because I made her a flower.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I was like, I know that this, like, Eden was the one who jumped after you, but I don't remember how that ended because I know you didn't know by the end of it.
No, yeah,
So,
he didn't catch up in time, and he didn't pull out his wings because he was gonna do it as a last second thing. But
yep.
Not so much he can fly, more like glide, but I think he has something else to like teleport. So
Yeah, I forget
Falls.
exactly how that happened.
Falling with
oh yeah, like when he jumped out the window. That's right, you teleported.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so yeah, that's that's the deal. Just if I fall off of an airship again, don't let me splat.
I won't. I would never let that happen. Besides which, if you were to splat, the lovely jewelry that I bought you would be broken, and that would be a shame. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my notes. I'm trying to prepare a class for when we arrive into River's Run. Oh gosh, sorry, I lost my accent a little bit there. I am trying to write a class, a master class for into River's Run. I've sort of discussed teaching a class there on music. Okay, let me run this by you. I'm thinking of calling it Gods of Music for a
Does it
master class.
you are the god of music?
No, no heavens, no, no. uh,
It doesn't make signals, does it not?
perhaps. So I actually wrote this down when I first. That was my note, is I was gonna call it Gods of Music. No,
Hmm.
I. It was because I was thinking that we would. It was in the. Maybe it wasn't actually. I was thinking that it was in like in that little area where all of the temples were, and so it was sort of just a play on words. But
Makes sense.
if they don't
It
have a symposium there, then that doesn't work.
I have to remember where I put everything. I mean, there are several temples around. Like there you could get it close to a lot of temples.
I am open to suggestions, of course. This was just a thought.
Hmm. You are good at creating things, dear. What what are other interesting names? Hmm.
We have a few days to think on it.
Please. We'll give it some consideration and
We call it Schoolhouse Rock.
The House of Rock. Yeah, rock
But
isn't really Eden's style of music, but
a bunch
like
of like
my
dwarves show up and they're like, House of Rock. We rock rock.
just have a whole bunch of Tweedles show up. Like,
I'll pull it over, see if I can think of anything clever. Probably
at
not.
first
That's not, but I'll try.
The first thing that came up to my brain is the Garden of Eden, but I feel like that neither
Oh.
illustrates what it is and also gives some other interesting connotations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. Yep.
It's not a good idea. No, don't use that one. It was just the first thing that came to my head, and I immediately realized it was bad.
We should call
Also,
it
the spelling. What was that?
Call it Juilliard.
Ah, there you go.
Julie's yard.
And
Sorry.
Eden's garden.
And Eden's garden. Uh,
When he gets struck down.
Listen, I will give it some mulling over too. Between me and Thea, surely we can help find something. But
Yeah, I shall leave that in your very capable hands.
Silas just goes, hey.
Good one. I don't know if we want to leave it in our hands, but we'll try.
My sentiments exactly.
And he'll go back to writing his notes.
All right. And you are able to get back to Song. It's a full day's trip, and the caravan kind of slows it up a little bit, so it's a little past nightfall when you get there. But it is a safe trip this go round. Nothing jumps out and attacks you. Was there anything else that you wanted to accomplish on the way? Anything like that?
Not
Yeah.
I.
Paul will pee off the side of the caravan a few times.
Whenever there's a pause for anything, Eric will come in since everybody else will be paying attention to what's going on around. Eric will come in and just like shut his eyes for a few minutes while everything happens during the break, and then get back up and kind of take his watchman's position again. He might talk to Teffin too while he's up there, kind of Teffin, and he'll leave Paul alone since he's naked sunbathing, but he'll probably talk to Teffin some, just trying to get him to know him better. What's that?
There might be a time or two where Paul interjects himself in the conversation.
Yeah, is there anything in particular that he's curious about or brings up?
No, just when he's done napping or whatever, he might just sit his naked ass right in between the two of them.
Eric is remarkably unfazed by this.
Paul, you're going to get splinters. And I'm not pulling them out.
Ow. I mean, if you get splintered, I will happily. Is it weird to offer assistance when somebody splinters their ass? This is the first time that I've run into this particular hypothetical situation.
Oh no,
But
this is a pretty fast. I'd be surprised if any splinters make it skin.
Huh. Well, I'm glad that your ass is resilient.
I do have a question. After getting sunburned and then being drugged through really coarse sand, how much of the hair on Paul's body is still there?
Honestly, probably not a lot.
Naked mole rat.
You are.
That Paul, before the trip, was covered in hair. Like he was a very hairy. He is a smooth, old, just sunburned gnome. Like at this moment.
Oh dear. Oh.
It's probably good for him. It's probably very exfoliating and like I mean, you know.
It's probably the cleanest Paul's been in a long time.
Honestly, probably.
Ugh.
Yeah. There's not a lot of hair left. There's
Okay.
not.
I've never been hairless before, but I gotta be honest. It feels kind of nice.
If
Just the two of them just kind of rubbing on themselves, like feel how smooth my skin is. Like, I don't know. There might be something to this.
if that's a sensation that you're fond of, you do have the option of shaving. That's a thing that you can do. There are also some different tactics for hair removal if you're interested in continuing that aesthetic. If it's something that please you, there are sugar waxes and some different things to that effect. There are some abrasive exfoliants that can help with that as well. But yeah, if that's a thing that you seem to enjoy, then why not keep it that way?
Sit through this conversation. Fucking talking about
Hair
hair
removal.
removal. Imagine Tevin just
So,
like
so at one point, Teffin's just going to look over at you, and all of the hair on his head is going to suck into his skin and then pop back out.
Mm-mm.
Or you could
I'm
just learn
That
how to
sure
do that.
that is a talent and would save me a lot of time on grooming, frankly. Goodness. Huh.
well, how do you do it? Teach me.
Um, sort of an old family trick.
Well,
You it's really
I'm not sure if
Mm.
Eric would have met a changeling. Nope. Um, I would be deeply curious to understand more tricks. Is it called something? I gather that you don't want to tell us, but
Um, I don't know that it's called anything. And he's going to look over again, and keeping in mind that he is actually wearing clothes, he's going to sort of compact and squeeze down and become a carbon copy of Paul.
ah, the heck
You look
is
really
my
good. Gotta be honest.
And
is
and then
my
he's gonna
brain?
then he's gonna reshape himself and form himself to look like Eric, and then back to the form that Eric knows.
I'm still
What a
not
terrible
okay.
thing to do to someone.
I
Oh
think
yeah, you're down from drugs. Forgot, man. He's probably white.
am I hallucinating right now? That has to be I have to be hallucinating right now. This is not. Am I Thea, do you still have do you still like calling into the slit? Do you still have those tablets?
yeah.
I think I might be hallucinating. I think
Um,
I might need some of that, but I don't want to. Um,
do you want to come lay down?
maybe. uh,
You've had a long
maybe
day.
so.
You've had a long
It,
day. Maybe go get some rest. It'll be fine.
that you just sell it as like, yeah, you're totally hallucinating right now. Okay. Yeah, Teffin is telling me to get some rest. I'd rather stay watchful for you, but if
If you
I'm
need rest, that
hallucinating,
is okay. We got our brains eaten, so like I think this is.
okay, okay, yeah, I'm gonna. And when the cart stops, he'll come back around and get into it. And it's like I don't want any more of that, but I am seeing things, and I don't think I
It's
should.
okay. It's
Okay,
okay. He
okay.
will just like put his lay him down on his lap, put his head on his lap, and just like play with his hair until he goes to sleep.
It doesn't take long. He's still real tired. He's probably the one who is still the most impacted by this, and he's also got withdrawal symptoms. So he's having a rough day. Um, but yeah, you're able to pacify him to the point that he's just out cold. Uh, um, yep. So now you've convinced a man that he's crazy. Congratulations, Teffin.
We gotta
Uh,
at this party.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So yeah, you guys are able to make it back to Song okay. No problems. Where are you setting up for the night?
Eden is getting a room
In the
because
nice
he's
place?
yep.
Nicer.
Just do we want to just jump on a ship and like travel overnight to get to Two Rivers Run?
I doubt any of them will start flying in the middle of the night. I don't know that for sure, of course.
If I remember these Bumble things right, they don't like go super high, so there's a possibility that they could run into things if they go at night. So they
Or
probably
if they're
won't,
like real bees, they can't fly at night.
or that. So probably need to wait till morning anyway. So um, I'll pull up, you know, at the spot that Eden wants to go and start dealing with Quimby and getting things ready for spending the night in the cart again.
Who would like rooms? Paul, you had a room at the other place. Would you like to stay with us though?
I have a room somewhere.
You had a room. This is where you had your one night stand.
Yeah, with a big orc lady.
Yeah, Paul doesn't remember.
Oh no. Oh.
Left with her.
Did you want to go back to your place where you slept last time, or do you want to stay at this hotel with us?
I slept in the tent the last time.
In a tent?
Yeah, the tent.
There's no tent here. We slept in a tent out in the mining site, but you stayed at the hotel last time, I think.
The last time I slept was in the tent.
I think you made a lady friend the last time we were here, and he's asking if you want to go find her or if you want to stay at the hotel.
Oh, I don't care. I'll sleep with it.
Nope. Okay, I can.
Just
I'm gonna
get
go
him a
get
room.
us rooms.
Yeah, just get him a room. Uh, and
Let's see, how
Eric
many
will.
rooms?
So you've got uh, Thea and Paul and Eric and you two. And Eric will accompany you up to the desk since he works here, figuring he can probably get a little bit of a discount for you guys. Which
Stefan,
I'd
do you want to sleep in the room or do you want to sleep in the cart?
I need to stay near my stuff.
Okay. And I guess I don't need the room for our other person this time. So, 1, 2, 3 rooms?
if you would prefer for me to sleep elsewhere, I can get my own room as well. But if you would, oh, all
Don't
right then.
don't be silly. Uh, okay, 3 rooms. I will go and pay for those.
So he goes with you, and they do cut you a deal. I, however, as a bad DM, did not write down how much I charged you that last time. So
I do not
I,
remember myself, but I
yeah. So
don't
he's
know that
able to
it,
talk it down to like 2 silver for each. So,
6
um,
silver. Okay.
yeah.
100 million gold pieces.
Like it is kind of a middle of nowhere place. This is the nicer accommodation, but Eric's got some pull, so and all of the other prostitutes are like waving to him and saying hi and all of that kind of stuff. So he will, because he's, you know, generous like that, I suppose. Coming back out to you two, he'll look over and say, I could introduce you to someone if either of you would be interested in company for the evening as well.
Aiden will just look at her. I think we're probably fine tonight. Thank you, though.
I meant those two.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I'm sorry.
misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah. He was talking to Thea and Paul.
What for?
I the if
Now I
you
watch this.
if you would enjoy the company of a lady or man, he kind of looks questioningly at you for the evening. If you would enjoy a prostitute.
Paul just dead stare like saying, like, do you want to have someone join the party? Like, are we? Yes.
No, no, not at all. You're just,
Or a family
Join
member?
the
Like,
party.
you know what? No, don't
this
worry about it. Don't.
doesn't barely fit in the cart as it is.
I, Thea, uh, are you interested in anything like that? I'd happily make an introduction to you to someone who would treat you very nicely.
Thank you, but I will spend time with my books.
That's an excellent pastime. I just wanted to make sure that you were well cared for in whatever way you needed to be. Um, yeah, he'll like say hi to people kind of on his way through, and uh, yeah, you've got your accommodation secured for the night. Groovy.
Cool. So
Um,
Paul will have a room to himself.
it's dangerous.
Yeah.
He's gonna pass out in the bar, kind of like outside.
I don't have any gold. I can't. So yeah, I give all my gold. Or I bought all those little potions.
Oh, that's true.
Actually, if so, Eden would probably have something like food and stuff sent to each room for everybody, and then one out to the cart for Teffin.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. So yeah, you're able to pay for everybody. Um, like take off a silver each, I guess, for that, and you're able to get them paid for pretty nice meal. Like they do really
Oh,
well with what they've got here, so it's a pretty upscale meals, a surprisingly good one for kind of middle of nowhere. They take good care of you, complete with dessert and the whole nine yards. Good stuffs. So,
and
um,
for Paul, there is alcohol as well, because
Not
Eden
for
knows
long.
him.
and of course you're able to go to the bar. It's attached if you end up wanting more. So that is an
You can
option.
start the tab under my name if you would like.
Paul has no idea what
That is not my problem.
How has he gotten drunk with you this many times and not understood what a tab was?
uh, because I ended up just doing it for him usually. We didn't travel with people for most of our time together. It was just the two of us.
Ah, I see. That's an interesting thing, I'm sure. Uh,
Well, it was fascinating.
hmm, I'm
He's a good friend. He struggles with social interaction sometimes, but he is a good friend.
I could
happened.
see that in him. He's an interesting man, and his skills are widely varied and very in tune with nature. Is kind of
Hmm.
fascinating. He's he's been interesting to get to know.
Yeah,
As you guys
sometimes
are
he just
sure
talks
he's
to
down,
animals.
has really
What
like,
was that?
like one of those real long, drawn out burps. Really
A
into with nature.
socialite at heart.
Hmm, apparently, he's charming. He says that sarcastically, but it's not with like any malice at all. It's uh more like I don't know. There's a strange admiration that's more like appreciating that he's not all of those things, and that's perfectly valid as well. Like that kind of vibe. So yeah, you were able to go and drink and belch to your heart's content, Paul. Anybody doing anything particular that they want to cover?
Eden totally
Sorry,
forgot. He
I'm
probably
dry.
should have left the memories at the mine, but he didn't think about it.
Yeah, what are we gonna do with this?
Hmm. Interesting. I'm sure that won't come back to haunt him at all.
Well, he's going to ask tonight, but he totally spaced it while he was actually there when he should have dealt with it.
Uh, yep. Um,
So we'll go drinking at the bar,
okay.
unaware that there's a thing as a town, and we'll just order drinks.
All
Eden
right.
will set up a tab for him.
Um, so you are able, like, there's a halfling woman that's serving. A really bright, perky lady tries to take good care of you and whatnot. Um, all of the different prostitutes are actually sitting at tables waiting for people to come to them. They're not being aggressive, kind of like they were at the other brothel. Um, and like the bar, none of them are at the bar unless they are brought there. So the bar is kind of a raucous like place with a lot of stuff going on. Roll me a perception check, if you will, Paul. Sorry.
Um, 18.
Oh, not bad. So you do hear that some of the folks that have come in from the mines that are drinking here are trying to inform her of what's going on. Um, and one of them in particular is telling them um, to remember what the Foreseer said when she went to see her, and that everything will be okay, even if she has to pack up shop and whatnot, and pretty much reminding her that this was like kind of low key prophesied for her by a fortune teller recently. Um, and they actually mentioned that she's in Two Rivers Run. It's like, you remember the last time that you went to Two Rivers Run? The Foreseer told you, and like gave this long list of not holding on to things too tightly because getting accustomed to your situation was only going to turn you on your head. Like all of these different little details about like going with the flow and that she'll be okay. Um, so pretty much talking about how the fortune teller kind of vaguely predicted this. Um, and there are a handful of folks that come in from the mines here, but most of them seem to be passing by to try and conserve their coin since they're not sure what they're doing just yet. So, but that's a thing that you pick up on, just a conversation being had at the bar. The bartender is a little bit uh visibly nervous and upset. She's good at masking it, but uh, you can tell that she's kind of shaken at the idea that she's going to have to pack up and figure out life from here forward.
Hey,
What was
I
that?
need more.
Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. And
I'm day,
comes. What was that? Sorry,
daydreaming about.
I'm only getting half of your sentences.
What are you daydreaming about?
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to be doing once the town dries up. And she pours you a pretty liberal drink. Um, I'm
We
not
just put a lot
totally.
of people out of work.
Yeah, like I trying to
What,
decide what's that?
what do you like doing?
Well, for a long time this was just kind of where I landed, but I've always really loved the arts as well. And
Cool. Hey,
um,
keep pouring while we're talking,
oh,
by the
oh,
way.
yes, sir. And she kind of keeps every time you empty it, she fills it back up. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide. I mean, I could do the arts, but I've gotten pretty decent at management. I mean, I run a pretty good place here, and I was told a million times that that I really would never be able to be successful out here this direction, and this is a good place. It's, people actually come here sometimes just, to stay here if they're gonna be listening to the dunes. So, I don't know if maybe business should be my thing, or
Do you like business or do you prefer art?
if you're talking about just the job, uh, then art. But I like the people.
What are you doing here then?
Well, I like the people. Like, you don't, if you're an artist,
People are
what's that?
everywhere. I said
I
people
suppose
are
that's
everywhere.
true.
You don't have
I,
to
d-
be in this with people. If you like people, you can do what you want to do. It's still people.
I suppose that's true. I,
What's stopping you from doing art?
Life advice from Paul.
right? I'm getting deep up in her. Uh, I, I, I was just always told that I could never make a living off of art. So,
What, people tell you that? Who told you that?
oh,
You
you,
know,
you know,
people tell you you can't do things.
what's that?
Just put an axe in their head. Don't let anybody ever tell you you can't do anything.
Remind me not to tell you that you can't do something.
Ever. Never let anybody tell you. If you want to do it, you do it.
Yes, you know, I think I will. I
Good. Now
think
give
I
me another one of those bottles. And how much do I owe you?
give me another what?
One of those bottles. And how much
Ah,
do I owe you?
wha- pardon me. Ah. She reaches up and gives.
Bottle.
Yep, exactly. Uh, she reaches up and grabs you a bottle from up higher on the shelf. She says, your redheaded friends already took care of the bill. He's paying for it, so you're solid."
Okay, well, I don't have a tip. Oh, hold on. I pull out one of the rings I have, and I hand her the
One of the prince's rings.
money gold. Ordinary money. So I,
Wow.
Danny, flip a coin or do odds and evens, and you tell me which one it is.
Um. Okay. Remind me the choices: the signet and the.
Ruby ring, which is complete, like the whole ring is entirely ruby. It's no metal.
That's
And
right.
then I got the obsidian ring, which has a rose gold wrap around all of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. So evens will be the rose gold.
Okay.
That is evens. So it's the obsidian with the rose gold wrap.
Give the bartender an obsidian ring. Say, fuck, fuck everybody else. And I take the bottle and I go up to my room.
Oh. Oh my God. And just kind of like standing there stunned for a while you exit. That's awesome. I love everything about that. Good job, Paul. Uh, so now that she's thoroughly motivated for her next step in life, uh, anything else for anybody else tonight? All right. So you guys are able to. What?
No, it's
What?
the middle of the night.
Middle of the night? Okay.
Yeah, it's the middle of
Um,
the night, so I'm not gonna.
okay. So
Keep up with the inventory.
No, I don't mind keeping up with inventory. I just, what am I going to do with an obsidian ring?
that's a fair point. You're
Well,
apparently
if I'm
gonna.
negotiate and sell it. He doesn't know what its value is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
worth at least, like one.
One, just one something.
One something. Yeah.
One something. So yeah, you guys are able to get really good sleep. Like they've done a good job of making sure that the mattresses are comfortable. The sheets are lush, and really, really nice atmosphere overall. It is a little bit kitschy with the kind of saris on the ceiling, sort of a vibe, kind of that sort of thing. So, um, but it is very comfortable and cozy, and they make sure uh, to give very nice amenities. So you're able to do your thing and wake the next day. Welcome to your morning. Do what thy will.
Hmm.
Go get a ship.
Yeah, so I'll actually go knock on Paul's door first thing in the morning.
There's one.
Paul? Paul? Is the door
Hello.
open or is it locked?
Oh, it's not locked.
Okay, just peek in. Hey, Paul, you wanna go cut
Yeah.
off a finger?
You see a
I want to see
cheetah
if that guy's in town.
and an empty bottle, like in the bed with the cheetah.
He's just gonna close the door again.
That's amazing. And now in my head canon, every time Paul gets drunk,
Yeah.
he just goes to bed as a cheetah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eden's just gonna do a quick once over on the town. He'll go over the message rings and just tell everybody, hey, if you guys want to take care of getting a ship booked or whatever, I'm going to see if our friend who is dealing drugs is in town now or if he might be into whatever's around. I just don't want to accidentally miss him if he's here.
Okay.
Is Scylla going with you for?
I assumed that Eden got up early enough and like left them asleep. If they were asleep, if they're not, then yes, he'll take him with.
Oh, if this is really early in the morning, they might both be asleep, yeah.
Yeah, Eden was trying to get up early.
Yeah, so they might still be kind of recouping a bit. Yeah,
So,
so
so if you find him and need some help, let me know. Don't try and, be a hero and do things by yourself.
I'm not much of a hero, don't worry.
And at about that time, that's when Paul comes stumbling down the stairs, and he's like, "We're going to cut off a finger."
Yes, Paul, actually, if that guy is in town, I know he is supposed to be sort of set up into River's Run, but if he comes here occasionally, I just want to make sure we catch him if he's here.
Oh, you ain't got to tell me twice.
all right. If
Let's
you guys
go
want,
hunt a tiefling then.
go ahead and roll me either a perception or investigation.
Are we asking someone, or are we just looking around?
Yeah, I would probably ask around a little bit as we're doing it. Whoever's up this early anyway.
Well, we'll do an investigation, but it's not. 9.
Plus 6. Ooh, 11.
Screaming
So,
strangers off the street. Are you a tiefling?
Do you know a tiefling?
Do you know a tiefling?
are you blue?
Where's Rachel?
I'm colorblind, I can't tell.
Yeah, you're not able to see anybody of that description, and nobody right off has seen anyone that fits that description in the last couple of days. One guy does seem to know like that he like knows of the guy. Doesn't say that he knows him personally, doesn't know him by name, but when you describe him, he's like, oh, yeah. I've seen that guy around, but I haven't seen him in a couple of days. So,
Where
Where
is
do
he?
you, yeah, where do you see him?
well, sometimes I see him doing business at the brothel down to the south end of town. Sometimes I catch him every now and then in he kind of hangs out behind. I'm trying to remember what places I created for this. Um behind the tavern over to the west. Those tend to be the two biggest places that are the places I've seen him the most often anyway. So
Thank you. I
yeah.
appreciate that. We need to get a hold of him, so
Okay, is there a reason? Should I be worried?
uh no, nothing to worry about.
Okay.
We spoke with some of the miners out at the mines, and they had a message for him. So
Okay. Well, if I see him, I'll let him know that some of the miners have been looking for him, although I don't know how long that's going to be relevant, I guess.
yeah, sad business that.
Yeah,
But
guess everything has a rise and fall though, right?
indeed, indeed. Well, good day to you, sir.
Thank you. He'll kind of give you give you a little nod with his hat and carry on about his way. Um, so yeah, no sign of him. Teffin, are you and Thea gonna be doing the rides curing thing?
Yeah, probably will, since I know that Eden is out doing the thing that trying to straighten out the drug trade. I'll probably go down to the port slash landing area, whatever, and see if there's somebody that was headed toward Two Rivers Run.
So there is one vehicle that is the correct size uh for you to be able to bring your card on board and things
Okay.
to that effect. And it is not Bumblefuzz's this time. It kind of looks like uh kind of halfway between a giant swallow and a bat. So um like more bird-like than bat-like, but has bat wings. Um,
Okay.
so uh, they've got two of those at the front, and you're greeted by uh, a gnome woman that has thick leather gloves on and seems cheerful enough. She's probably like 45, 50, somewhere in there.
Okay.
It looks like she has been an outdoorsman most of her existence. Like sun bleached hair, kind of thick skin, but seems cheerful enough and greets you with a big smile and a nod when she sees you approaching.
Good morning. Looking for passage for myself and some companions to Two Rivers Run. I do have a cart and a draft horse to take with me as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. We're headed kind of sort of that way anyway. We'll just have to swing a little bit wide, but I don't think that should be too much of a problem. So how soon are you looking to leave?
Um, Today, if at all possible.
We were hoping to leave out about mid-morning, so I think that would
That
work just fine.
that'll work.
Yeah,
There
we
are one, two, three, four, five, six of us, I believe, plus the horse and cart.
uh
Did I
do you
count?
have
Hmm, 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 hmm.
No, I think you did, because you included Mork Prom.
Is Eric coming with us, or is
So
he
me,
staying home?
Eden, um, Paul,
Thea,
Paul,
the
Thea,
Paul.
Scylla,
Nair.
Eric?
Eric, and Scylla. So six.
It
And
would be
Yeah.
kind of funny if you accidentally forgot that Mork Ork was there
Left him
and
behind.
left him in song. Uh, I somehow doubt that he would notice. But we can create a really funny story if he catches up with you guys sometime. So, so like Mork has just kind of found his own lodging, uh, and
he's done his own thing for so
he's done
long
his own
anyway.
thing,
He's
and
been
then just
comatose this whole time.
yep. He's in a medical
He got brain
treatment.
eated.
hang up. Uh, so he's just hanging out in song and gets left behind, and we can create a really hilarious story for how he catches you up later.
We lost him
If
when the
that ever
sand
becomes the
things
thing.
attacked and he got swallowed by one.
That that tracks. That tracks.
Um,
Ah,
So,
so yeah.
okay. But yeah, there should be six of us plus the cart and horse, and I can round us all up and be here by midday.
That sounds good. Fair warning to you if you haven't ridden in the back with any of these guys before. It's a bit of a rough ride. We do stay low to avoid some of those cross currents. But it's a bit rough. I assume since you got here, you've probably
We were on one drawn by bumblefuzzes before, so I think we'll be prepared. Hopefully.
they tend to be a little bit gentler than these guys. I mean, these are beautiful, beautiful creatures. She kind of pats one, and it kind of coos and leans into her hand. But it is just because of the nature of their flight, a little bit rougher.
Hmm.
So just be aware and make sure you strap in real good.
Of course, I will so warn my party.
Good deal. So it'll run you to pretty much uh take all the passage here. It'd end up being with the cargo we've already got. Let's see. End up being about 50 gold.
And I will pull out 50 gold and hand them to her.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a couple hours then, eh?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good. See you soon. And goes on about like making sure that they're fed and all of that, make sure that her animals are happy.
Okay, so I'll head back and over the over the comms. It's like we have secured passage. We'll be leaving town mid-morning, so be sure that you've got everything ready and get the cart packed up, and we'll head over.
Perfect. I hope we will be there with a plus a finger, but I'm not confident.
So yeah, you you're able. Anything else going on in the morning since your effort to find your tiefling has left you dry?
I mean, we could go to the Bronco and ask.
I assume that we did. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have in your efforts.
Is it
Um,
the lower end brothel, or
say that.
is it the lower end brothel?
The one
Yeah,
where we
'cause
were before, or where
yeah,
Paul was
where Paul
before.
was before. Yeah, I mean, you if you want to do that as a separate role just to see, you're more than welcome to. Uh,
We roll to
but
see if we run into Paul's lady friend.
sure, go
Well,
for it.
what would we roll for that?
Oh, that's a good question.
All the five to find the tiefling. So
we don't find the tiefling then. Roll me a percentile, and if you hit 80 or above, you run into your lady love, your lady friends.
oh crap, 86.
Yes.
So she you kind of see like she's doing some morning drinking at the bar. And she doesn't immediately see you because she's kind of like she's arm wrestling with the bartender right now. Apparently this is a pretty normal thing for them. You're not positive, but it might be that she actually is some kind of light security, like kind of is a little bit of a bouncer type of person. Um, Whether official or not, but uh, she seems to be here a lot and is one of the only people in here right now, in the main room at least. And so she's currently like in the middle of an arm wrestle, and when she comes back up out of that after having won against the bartender, it dawns on her that she heard somebody walk in and she turns around. Well, hi again, handsome.
Have we met? Oh,
We've met. She like eyes Paul.
Eden's like, whoa, this is new.
How are you? How'd your trip to the mine go?
We closed it.
You what?
Yeah, we closed it.
Huh. Well, that's gonna be a little weird. Well, I guess uh, she's kind of stumbling, trying to figure out what it is that she should be saying right now, but then kind of looks back at you and was like, "Want a beer?
Sure, always.
Want to wrestle?"
Yeah, why not? Oh, hey, have you seen a blue tiefling?
I mean, I've seen a couple from time to time. Like
We're
who are you
looking for
talking about?
backgrounds, folding around the horns. They say he comes here.
Samden?
hmm
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I've seen him now and then. I haven't seen him probably been about a week.
Good odds.
Do you know where he lives in Two Rivers Run?
I kind of do, yeah. He tends to live. He's out by the Smiths. On the what side of town is this? I have to remember. Oh, okay. So, he lives on the northeast side of town.
Oh,
Um, close by to to where the Smiths are.
good to know. Is he a friend of yours?
Eh, I mean, we get on okay. I'm not sure I'd call him a friend.
I've gotta take one of his fingers.
Excuse me?
Yeah. He's got
Why?
info.
What was that?
He has information we need.
I mean, you might just ask him instead of taking a finger.
Yeah, but you get more information if you take a finger first.
Also, he's selling drugs that are not only illegal but highly addictive and potentially lethal. So,
Okay. That tracks, actually. I could kind of see him doing that. That makes sense. Well, yeah. I hope you find him then. He's a little bit of a weasel, so hopefully you'll be able to nail him down.
Oh, I plan on doing more than nailing.
She she looks she looks over and is like, "Oh, really? Hmm.
Well, it was good seeing you. We gotta go.
I I
I thought you were going to wrestle.
I mean,
Oh,
Eden's like so excited to watch this.
I'm good for it if you want. I'll buy you a
oh, he
drink if you want.
takes off, puts the axe and stuff to the side. And he's like, all right. Yeah.
Real quick before I forget, how much do I owe for the bar tab?
Oh, it's probably a fair amount. It's probably pretty close to 10 gold. This is a
Cool.
lot of
I'll
booze.
just go with 10.
Okay. Um, all right. And yeah, Paul, roll me a grapple check. Ooh, hers is pretty decent.
I rolled terrible. Uh, 13.
Okay, so hers is a 19. And so they start off. Uh, would you like to narrate how this goes?
She's the one who's got me in a lock, so you tell me how she's got me.
It starts off like they seem kind of evenly matched, weirdly, for this like gigantic orc versus this small gnome. But she's able to get him in such a place that like she's kind of got him in an Americana and has like he doesn't fit underneath her in such a way that she can grapevine his legs. So she's like using one arm to kind of negotiate around his leg and pull that towards the Americana that's happening too. It's kind of like watching Paul be tied into a knot. Um, and you just hear her say, "Uncle, is it Uncle time yet? You gonna say it? You gonna say it?" Until he finally taps out. Uh, and once she lets go, she's like, "Best 2 out of 3."
Damn right. Please, man. Uh, 18.
18. Well, that one worked out all right because mine was significantly lower this time. So if you would like to narrate how this goes for
Yeah,
Paul
so
winning this one.
he puts her just in just a basic leg lock, but because he's so small, it's literally just him wrapped on her leg and just twisting her ankle in a way that and the grip is so tight she can't get him off. So
All right, tiebreaker round.
Bartender, around for whoever wins, please.
uh,
It's a 5.
oh yeah, 21.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You straight up win. Yep, yep. How's it go this time?
This time he gets her arm pinned behind her back and puts her down on the ground and just twists the shoulder.
Nice.
So
So she's on the ground, and Eden, she looks like she's enjoying this entirely too much. Um, and she'll
Actually, just around for both of them, please.
and she
I
will
think
tap
I think
out.
they both deserve it.
Damn, you got me.
you had me there at the beginning, though. You were fast. I didn't
Mm,
see that one coming so quick.
you're good. You're good. Well,
So there's drinks for both of you. I'm gonna like step out. So, you know, just make sure you're ready to go by, a couple of hours from now, Paul.
He grabs the drink, downs it, smacks her in the ass, and say, "That was fun. Have a good one," and then walks out with Eden.
Keeping it something down like this.
Oh yeah, it's got to be. He's reaching up to smack her ass. He's so taller than he is.
Damn.
she looks like kind of put off for just a second, but a little turned on too. It's like, huh, hope I see that one again. Just kind of wanders back in. That's awesome.
All right. Should we go get ready then? Go see if we can find him anywhere else in town. I suspect that he is not here, but
Well, at least we know where he lives in Two Rivers Run. We can go visit him there.
oh, I'm excited. Yes.
Good deal. All right. Anything else you guys need to cover beforehand?
Paul's
Cool.
ready to head out.
All right. You collect the rest of your peoples and get into this kind of looks like a sled cart. You can tell that it negotiates sand some. Kind of has wide skis on the bottom of it for landing, but it also looks like it has wheels that can come down. Um, and she was not lying. It is a rougher ride than the Bumblefuzz sled, but this it seems to go a bit faster too. So you're able to cover the distance to Song. Um, it's kind of hard to really talk to anybody. You're going fast enough, and things are creaking and squawking enough, like moving around in the cart, that there's not really great opportunities for communication. But you're able to get there, uh, kind of, excuse me, as night falls. So you're able to close that gap pretty quickly, and ends up he actually lands you. There's a bridge by the delta that crosses over, and you're able to land kind of on the opposite side from the actual airship port. So
Do we have a map?
There is a
I
map of
don't.
Two Rivers Run. Keith, do you have that scanned in still?
I think I do. Give me one sec.
Mm. I don't have things labeled particularly well as far as what's what, but I roughly remember. Somewhere. Okay, so you should be able to pull that up. Uh,
So you're talking about here?
yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Because this was the airships.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're able to bring you in across from those, uh,
Are we
and get
going straight to cut off a finger, or are we doing something different first?
I mean, I'm always good for a finger cutting off. And he'll actually hand his bag to Sela and say, if you wouldn't mind setting us up with some rooms.
Of course, I would be very happy to. The place that we stayed last time?
Of course.
Of course. Um, Eric, do you wish to go with me or do you wish to go and cut off fingers? Uh, he he looks back and forth for a minute to you guys and it's like, I feel like, you know, the fingers would be a change of pace. I will accompany you and see how it's done.
All right. Paul, we're headed to the northeast corner of town.
Okay, we go that way.
So, as you are headed that direction, roll me a perception check.
No, Nate,
That's an
come back.
11.
11.
Yeah.
26.
26. Okay. So you, Eden, see a familiar face, actually running down one of the corridors. Oh, not corridors, sorry. One of the,
Roads.
yeah, like the bridge roads, because this is all kind of really marshy here. You see the familiar figure of, your friend whose name I have to find again. Uh, your lawman.
What was your name again?
Gildale.
Gildale.
That's right.
Kildale.
Okay. So you see Gildale, chasing after someone, who looks to be in a dark hood. So, Gildale, you followed the lead back here that there is a thriving drug trade that needs to be shut down. Um, but two things have happened since you have moved to this space to try and handle this. You have ended up kind of on the inside of, or realizing that you needed to get to the inside of a drug cartel, that operates kind of through this continent, but you suspect that it also has branches elsewhere, and you're trying to get to the bottom of some of that. But also, upon your return, you discovered that there was a string of murders that has been happening in this town. Um, you have reason to believe that the murderer has moved on. Um, and this was kind of tied to one of the reasons you were originally investigating this group of people. Um, but the murders have continued even though they have been gone. And now there is another person of interest, a blonde, kind of older celestial, not particularly old, but probably in his 50s, at this point. He would be kind of like late 50s. That has been close by for all of the cases that you have seen. Um, there is. It also seems that there has been a hostage taken at this point. As one of the local shop owners, who is a fortune teller, has been taken or kidnapped, not necessarily taken hostage, but has been kidnapped. Get him nailed down to interrogate yet. But you are currently in pursuit of one of the lesser drug runners to try to get information on one that might be higher up the totem pole.
Okay.
So his name is Gobin, and he is running like hell to try to get to the side of town that these guys are headed to. So that is what you are currently doing, pursuing a lesser drug runner. And you also see a familiar face, or it's several familiar faces. It's a little harder for you to miss because there are several of them together. So yeah, you guys end up kind of like making a brief moment of eye contact before Gildale continues running the same direction you're headed.
Old person.
On Gildale?
No, on whoever he's chasing.
Okay, that would have been really funny though.
Yeah. Hey, you stop. No, really, stop.
All right. And that's a what
Wisdom
save is that?
save.
Wisdom save. That one's a nat 20.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna save.
Yeah, so he saves and keeps trucking. You
Hey,
guys
Paul, up for a chase?
Gone. Dash. And like, yeah, super speeding, like I'm moving it. So how far away are they from me? How far has he moved past me?
So they
Not far
are
enough.
yeah, not far enough. They're probably like 40 feet ahead of you.
Okay, so I'm gonna go my first movement speed of 35 feet. I'm then going to bonus action dash with my other 35 feet
Okay.
to get right next to the other guy, and then I'm going to pull out the movable rod and
Of
just
course.
stick it right in front of the guy while he's going full speed, so it gets him right in the stomach.
Oh,
I just
Oh.
had him roll dex, and yep, straight up just clotheslines him. He flips over and just like lands sprawled out in the middle of the road. I love
Click it
it.
again, put it down on his chest, and click it one more time.
Oh my gosh. Man, what are you doing to me? Oh gosh, do I know you? Have I upset you?
Hi, I'm Paul.
Oh,
What do you have?
Paul, why did you do that? And he's trying to like wiggle out from underneath it, but it just hurts worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. It's gonna dig in deeper the more you try to move.
Why? What did I do to you?
Well, you're running from a friend of mine.
Ah, shit, man. Uh, you're able to close the distance with him, Gildale.
What's your name?
My name is Gobin.
hello,
Ow.
Gil.
What was that?
Gotta get away from me, huh?
Hello, Gil.
I was trying really hard, yeah.
Got questions for you. Ah, my friends, thank you. Thank you for your assistance.
Good to see you again, and thank you for your assistance.
Why are
Oh.
you assisting each other? Do you know? You guys know each other? This seems not fair.
Probably isn't
Well,
for
you
you.
should have had your friends help you.
Always trying. God.
Well,
Well, if you want, you can tell me where your friends are. We can certainly bring them to the party.
Can you let me up?
I don't know. Gil, you want them up?
let me see. See if I got some shackles or something.
I mean, I have a little bit of rope. We could just tie his ankles to his
Yeah,
hands.
Are you worried he's going to run away?
yeah. We're
I
gonna
grab
tie him up.
I click the movable rod, grab him by his the back of his pants, lift him up so his feet aren't touching the ground, and then jam the rod to lock it into place to hold him by his pants. It's just hanging there.
You're my
Oh, the
wedgie.
wedgie of a lifetime.
Oh, I don't think this is better. Ow! Can I? What? Oh, can I just go?
Just take me to whoever's in charge. That's all I ask.
I told you I don't know who's in charge. In charge. I just got my direct boss. That's all I got.
Okay, where is he?
He's he's over across the fourth bridge, over on the
What? Sandon? Samden?
Samden. Yeah,
Ah,
he's
Oh, you know Samden?
yeah.
We're looking for Samden.
yep.
Oh well, yippee! Can I can I please have my balls back? It's real tight in there right now. Ow! Like
I
I
say that
just.
all the time too. Like, just
How often do
yeah.
you have wedgies with immovable rods? Is that a frequent thing for you?
Not for me, no.
It's just, oh, ow. Can you, the seam is really uncomfortable. It's hitting in a
Gil,
very untoward spot.
Gil, should we
All
let
right,
you
all
run
right, all
the
right.
He's your guy.
Let, Here, let me. I'll take the rope. I'll tie his hands and I'll tie his feet together, but give him enough slack that he can kind of walk without tripping. But he is still all tied up together.
Click.
Yeah.
Ow! Well, now I got a bloody nose. Fine, fine. This is not my nightmare.
Well,
Well,
Is there some kind of protective custody that I get for taking you to him or something? Like, can I stay in the jail cell until everybody's taken care of? Is that a
sure.
thing?
I think that could be acceptable and arranged. Should be just fine.
I'd
We could
prefer
just
that.
kill everybody in there and then just be done with it. There's nobody left to
Oh,
do,
that
do the bad things.
that escalated quickly. Uh, are are you gonna kill people?
If I have to. No, wait. Let me rephrase that. God, I hope so.
Let me
I
remind you, as a lawman, I cannot condone killing.
I I
Well,
are
this
you
got awkward really quickly.
are you sure that you're the one in charge? He says to Gil. Like you're the one in charge of this operation, right? Not them.
I am the law. Yes.
That is a dangerous sentence, my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what that has to do with anything. I'm just trying to cut off some fingers and get to the bottom.
Yep, let's just go
Now,
talk to our friend
now,
Samden.
yeah. Now, listen. If I happen to look away and something happens, I mean that's kind of out of my control if I didn't see it. But
Hey, Gil, what's
for the
that
most
over
part, yeah. What's that over there?
Oh, look, an obvious distraction.
I have a lot of concerns here. Uh,
You
but
should.
shit. Okay. Um, I'm gonna. He's over here behind the shops and past Smith.
Is
It's
he
just
home?
I don't know. I hoped he was because I was hoping he would hide me out, but apparently that's not going to be a thing. So, oh God.
I'll tell you what. Just tell me where he is. We'll take you to the prison and lock you up and make sure nobody comes in or out.
Okay, he's over uh after that bridge there. You're gonna cross over and you'll see the Smiths and whatnot. You're gonna hop over past that platform and it's gonna be two down. It's a little ramshackle place.
Now
Nothing much.
you're not lying to me, are you?
No, sir.
Because I know where you are now. And
Well, you're gonna put me in jail, so you'll still know where I am. I don't wanna lie to you. You beat my face in. I feel like if anybody's gonna kill me tonight, it's either gonna be you or Samden.
It won't be Sam then, don't
Yeah,
worry.
that's a fair point.
Oh, see, I really don't want to lie to you.
Wait, is he good with a weapon? Is he a good fighter?
He's all right. I mean, I don't really know. I don't go in the habit of like picking fights with him, but he's got a bit of a reputation.
Okay. Okay. Um. Hey, let's take you over to the jail cell and get you tucked in for the night, and we'll be on our way.
Okay,
Have fun,
we'll meet
y'all.
you there. Yeah,
What?
we'll meet you there. We'll make
Okay.
sure that he is not doing anything untoward with his toes.
Okay.
Why would You know what? I don't want to know. If you guys got a thing about feet, that's your business. It's just gonna, it's gonna follow the lawman and kind of head hanging, doing
Yep.
the walk
I'm
of
gonna escort
shame.
him.
Yep,
Escort him to the jail.
yep, walk of shame
Bye,
and embarrassment.
Golden. Have a good night.
Bye, you person, Paul in person, just kind of hobbling over. Still obviously uncomfortable from the wedgie. Um, yep. And yeah, so you guys are going to head to Samden?
Yeah,
Gotta
why
cut
would
off a finger before the lawman
Yep.
gets there.
All right. So the directions that he gave you were accurate. And you can kind of see through the window first, a blue tiefling kind of sitting and talking to uh, a big, almost albino looking man that looks like maybe he's got just a tinge of purple to the paleness to his skin, and abnormally large. They're kind of having a conversation, looks like a pretty serious conversation. The big guy looks like he might be a little bit angry. And you can kind of hear the conversation about like inflation, like having to pay more and more for the supply that he's running, the big guy. Um, and being perturbed with Samden for enforcing the uh, constant markups. Um, so that's what you're kind of hearing through the window.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at Paul and be like, all right, on three?
Sure.
Okay, 1, 2,
I
3.
busted.
And as soon as Eden says 3, he also says, Sam then.
And Samden like looks up as the door
So
is busting in.
yeah, we're doing psychic glance at Samden because I know his name.
Oh, nice.
So he will need to make an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence. That's not his strong suit. Oh my gosh, that was a 2. It wouldn't have mattered if
Yeah.
it was his strong suit. Dang. Yeah, that's gonna work.
So he's incapacitated.
Okay.
And how much was that? Oops, wrong button. 7d6.
Whoo!
Jeez.
Oh man.
This is what I did to you.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm really glad you
That
didn't get
is
a chance to do that again to Paul. Paul'd be dead.
Yeah. That is 30 points of psychic damage.
Oof. Like he just screams and wails and not understanding like what's happening. The big guy like flips the table that they're talking over and like kind of puts it between you guys and them. And like, what is this? What's going on here? Uh to just anybody who will answer. Um and Samden, oh well, I guess at this
He's
point
incapacitated.
Oh yeah. I suppose though at this point rolling initiative would be appropriate. How long is he incapacitated till the end of his next turn?
Let's see. It is incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
Your next turn. Okay.
So
So
I
yeah,
guess, are we all there? Well,
would Teffin
Sure.
have gone with?
I mean, probably not, because would have been dealing with getting the cart unloaded in scene two.
Well, Eden will be like, "Hey, everybody, we found our friend. We're gonna pick him up, and we ran into Gil." So that's what's going on right now, with screams in the background.
So
Do
if you wanted to join in,
do
you
you ne-
possibly.
do you need assistance? And where are you?
Not, not at the moment. It's the place northeast, uh, behind the Smiths.
Okay. So you don't need assistance.
Not at the moment, but you're welcome if you want to cut off fingers.
I think I'm good.
I rolled a 16.
Oh, right.
Do you want me to roll so when I get there?
Yeah. I mean, the fight will probably be over by the time you get there.
Unless you
But
can hear the screams.
yeah, it kind of depends on if you actually take the guy to the jail or not. If you actually take him, the fight will
Yeah, I
probably
am.
yeah. So the fight will
No.
likely be over by then.
You could always
Okay, I do have a number just in case.
What is the number, just in case?
16.
What's your dex,
2.
Paul?
Mine is
Oh.
also a +2.
Oh, well, roll off then.
What's the actual score?
Mine's a
14.
14.
Yeah.
I rolled a 15 on the roll off.
7.
Okay.
Okay, so Paul would be first. You would be second in that. If you show up again before
I
it's
rolled a
time.
19.
19 for Eden. Let's see what.
I would like to interrogate before you kill him.
Oh yeah, I don't think we're gonna kill him. We're just gonna, take off his finger. Maybe a horn.
Yeah, he is to interrogate. Although that psychic lance may have just done the dirty work for us.
Eric rolled
Such a
20.
cool spell.
That is so freaking neat. Oh my gosh. So Eric rolled a 20 and Samden rolled a 1.
Oh, poor Sam. He's not gonna have a good day.
Yeah, it's not a great day. Eric not being totally sure what you guys intend, because he was anticipating you like trying to just kind of strong talk him. And we opened with this, so he's actually going to hold his action. He's got his scimitar out, and his eyes are glowing like a really vivid blue with the spark of gold there. And his eyes aren't actually blue, so it's a little like it's a little strange. And it looks like he is ready to cast something, but his scimitar is glowing as well, kind of clearly waiting for what's happening with you. And Eden, you are up next.
Ah, dang. Okay, so he is. Well, at the end of my turn, he will no longer be incapacitated. But we're going to go ahead and hold person his friend. So he will need to make. There we go.
Oh,
Wisdom saving
Wisdom
throw.
saving throw. Yep.
he rolled a 5.
So that's going to be a fail.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where Eden's concentration is going to be. Um, at the end of each of its turn, so at the end of its turn, his turn, he can try to make the save again. But Eden will just sort of step in and pull out his rope and start tying up the big guy.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. Okay. Paul.
I walk over to incapacitated bro and click that immovable rod right on top of him to keep him in place so he won't go anywhere. And then I sit my ass down right on his chest and pull out my hand axes. Literally crotch right by his chin, and I've got 2 hand axes looking down at him. Like, we got some questions for you, my friend. And I just start tapping those, like, mildly aggressively on either side of his head on the ground. Like, drum roll, please.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. All right. So you're not actually like attacking. Well, you've
No,
knocked him
I
down.
will take this moment, though, to intimidate the hell out of
Yeah,
him.
go for it. Go ahead and roll it.
With your junk in his face.
That's a dirty 20.
He is adequately intimidated by your gnome balls at his face. That's great. Great. Um, so yeah, that's awesome. Um, so he is no longer incapacitated, right?
No.
Samden? Yeah.
Okay, so
The other guy is still held until the end of his turn. He can make a save.
Samden is going to try to wrestle you off of him. So,
He has an immovable rod pressed
oh,
deeply into his
that's right,
chest.
in his chest. Um, okay, okay. Huh. Interesting. He is going to try this would actually take most of his turn, I think, because he'd have to try to do it without really digging that thing into his chest worse. Um, so he's going to sacrifice one of his attacks to take the time to do that, but he is going to oh wow. Doesn't matter, he rolled a 1. So he's going to try to pull out a dagger and stab you with it. And he's trying to negotiate around the immovable rod, and you can tell that it's hurting him. And he's freaked out by you, but he pulls it out and just kind of like swifts and misses it. Um, does not land that very well at all. Um, so it he is clearly distracted enough by the discomfort from the immovable rod that he is not a very good tactician right now at all. Which before wraps back around, yeah, Eric's gonna just keep actually holding because he doesn't know what the plan is. This was not to
There was not one.
but he's going to come over and like point his glowing scimitar like right at the guy's head and add to the intimidation factor. And it seems to be working. The guy is panicking pretty good at this point. The big guy is we have to wrap back around to him, so that doesn't matter. So that will bring us back to Eden.
Eden's just gonna keep tying up the big guy.
Okay. Um, what is he using to tie him up?
His
Just
50 feet of rope.
okay. All right. So you're able to successfully bind him. We'll see if he can break out of it later. Paul, what you doing?
I'm going to take the hand that he grabbed the dagger with. I'm gonna grab his wrist, and using my strength, I'm gonna break his wrist.
Nice. Go ahead and roll it.
Do you want me to do like a strength check, or would it be
Yeah,
like
do it as a strength check. Like that would make sense.
That would be that's a 20.
Yeah, that'll do it. Um, and just crunches the wrist. Uh, he screams at you, like, "Yeah! What are you doing? Who are you people?"
Why would you try to stab me? That was very friendly.
You came in here and attacked me first.
I put literally like putting my finger to his lips. we have some questions. So
He is going to attempt to bite your finger off. Okay, so that's a 17. Does that hit?
yeah, no, he bites.
So he is going to bite your finger. Um, and I don't really know
Worse
how
of a
to do
carrot stick.
that. I'm not sure how to do, like, it would be an unarmed attack, but I don't know. I guess it probably wouldn't bite it off, but he's gonna do 4 points of damage. Um, and it is significantly damaged. It's he's at least broken it, and he's broken the skin and sunk real deep. So it is like you hear the crunch, and managed to get it out before he's able to totally sever it with the bite. But it's kind of just hanging in there. Um,
Okay, I get a really big smile on my face.
uh,
Mm.
Eric's gonna
Ooh,
kind of like look over at you and say, "Should I pin one of his hands down with the sword?" What?
sure.
Okay. And he just kind of stabs the sword through the through his non-broken through
Oh man.
his scimitar. Uh, and then
Oh.
our big guy is gonna try and break the binds. Oh, but
He
again,
needs to first break the wisdom save.
oh, well, it, either way he fails because that was a 4 that I just rolled. So he's still hanging out there, not doing anything. Um,
Incapacitated.
yep. Which brings us back around to Eric, who is just gonna hold the hand there, with his sword sticking through it and be ready to pull it out and jab again, in a more vital spot if he has to. Eden,
Still
the
just
guy is
tying the
tied.
guy up. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, he's tied by this point, probably. Like,
Okay. Eden will just sort of like pat him on the face. And he'll keep concentration, but he'll turn over to the other guy and be like, you should probably never bite Paul. I don't remember the last time he took a bath. You have a disease now.
he seems deeply confused by all of this to the point that that does not totally register with him. Um, but yeah. Uh, Paul, what you doing?
His hands pinned.
Yes, his
I'm
good
taking
hand is pinned with the sword, and then the other one is broken.
I'm taking one of his fingers. I take my hand axe and I say, it's like, it's a lot easier if you use a tool and then just take off the index finger.
No.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. He's gonna try and squirm away so that you can't. We'll see.
It's pinned to the floor though, right?
Oh, if you're going for the one that's pinned, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna be able to do it on that.
Sure. So, and with him prone and me doing an attack above him, isn't that an automatic like crit? In
Well,
terms
he's
of,
If you
like,
hit,
supine.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, so
Well,
yeah,
I'm
that
not
would
trying to do massive damage, but I am legitimately trying to sever his
yes,
finger.
yeah, so that would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
sever his finger.
and he is screaming bloody Murdy by this point.
And then I pick
Clearly
it up,
really distraught.
put it back to his lips, his finger to his lips, and I go,
He, he's looking at you like in a dead panic, like, and clearly also like Eric is kind of back and forth about how he feels about this. He's real uncomfortable at all of this. I mean, he knew you intended on taking a finger, but this is a little real all of a sudden. Yeah.
see, everything's all down until they actually have to watch a person get their finger taken off. So,
Um,
and I
so
basically get to you and I say, we're here to ask you some questions so you can answer them, or I could take another finger.
Eden's
s-
gonna meanwhile go and start like he's gonna pin. Well, I guess it's already pinned down. He's gonna hold the hand down and start wrapping it so that he doesn't bleed out.
so Samden is he's not going to actually try to struggle against this at this point because everything has gone so poorly to this point. And he's just going to be like, "What do you want to know?" And it
Who's your
just
boss?
like, which one?
Oh, we'll
All
take
of
them all.
them. Yep.
I've got three. I've got um. Oh, I was not adequately prepared here. Just a sec.
Well, we didn't realize we were going for a drug cartel when we started this game today either. So
Nope.
Um, there's rhythm and Calcine and Fortua.
okay,
That
and
those are
you can tell us we can find them.
they come and find me when they need me. They don't have a solid spot that I can go to them easily. We have to arrange meetings. I don't know where they are, man. What
Well, how do you arrange meetings?
I've got stones for them. I've got like we arrange it in a
Oh,
message.
awesome. Okay. Do they come visit? Do they come here?
Y- Usually they'll either meet me somewhere here or sometimes they'll meet me in song. Every now and then they'll meet me somewhere else, but usually, yeah, here or song. Things can fly
Where?
down under the radar easier.
Where are the stones?
They're over on my shelf over there.
I'll get them. Let me finish wrapping this so you don't, bleed out. That would be unfortunate.
Well, why did you not just ask before you started stabbing? What the hell is this? Who are you people?
I didn't stab you at all. You bit my finger first.
You stabbed me with a rod.
I mean, he didn't stab you. He just sort of pushed it onto your chest.
It's like an inch in there, man. I consider this a stab.
I mean, it hasn't broken the skin.
I can push it in further if you want me
It's
to show you the
okay.
difference.
Nope. Nope. I am cooperating. I'm
Good
telling you
job.
what you need. Can I have my finger back now?
No, I'm keeping this.
It's a souvenir. Makes it easier to find you if we find out that you have lied or you have, in any way fudged things, or if you ever, ever, ever sell drugs again.
What
I
am I
might just
supposed to
want
do
to
with them?
complete this.
What?
And I might just want to complete the scene.
What am I supposed to do with all this crap then?
Oh, you will give it to us, and we will get rid of it for you. Don't worry.
What?
Did I stutter?
Oh, do you
I know
not
my
understand?
accent is hard, but
I've got to buy the product first and then mark it up, man. Like I'm gonna owe my entire soul to the people that sold it to me.
oh, don't worry about that. That will be taken care of. I mean,
God.
as far as that goes, you probably are getting off scot-free.
What do you mean?
I mean, you will
Well,
not have to worry about paying anyone back. Your debt will be erased, as it were, because you will owe it to people who no longer are in the business.
Oh, okay, fine. Just
Hey Eric, could you take your sword out? I want to bind that so he doesn't bleed
oh
out.
yeah. Sorry. He'll lift up the sword and kind of offer to help out as well, binding him up. He seems a little bit more natural at that part than he does the, stabbing people that haven't really done anything to him part. Like you've seen him in
Figure.
action, he's pretty vicious, but this is not his thing.
Yeah.
I unclick the rod.
Oh, jeez,
Who's
man.
the big guy?
That's
Oh, at this
Tell.
point, Aiden will drop the spell.
That's Tell. When he comes out, he's like, "Ah! What? What happened, man?"
Good
Is
morning,
he
Tel. How are
is he
you?
working for you or is he above you?
Well, he's above me.
Oh,
Not
perfect.
anymore.
What? So okay. I gather that you guys aren't cops. What is happening here?
We're simply concerned citizens.
He looks at like the finger in Paul's hand, like concerning
We're
citizens.
with a we're with an organization called Drugs Alcohol Resistance Education.
You can call us Dare.
Well, well, I look, man. I don't have anything to do with him other than like having to work for him. I don't want to be here. I don't need to lose any fingers.
You already did, but
Does he know where your bosses are?
Wait, what?
Well, the big guy that you work under.
Sorry. I'm confusing like who it is that you're talking to here. Um, uh, there's no reason that Tell would know that. No. He's-
Tel, is that the
What?
truth?
Yeah, I don't know his bosses. That's like I answer to him. They compartmentalize this stuff, man. I've been trying to figure out who works above him so that I could maybe figure a way out of this, see if I was getting shafted with not the pricing, but I
Well,
haven't been able to figure it out.
that is no longer a problem. You don't need to figure it out.
Okay, all right. So can I go?
No.
What are you gonna do to me?
Well, you've seen too much. Tell we have to kill you now.
You see Eric just go,
Nope, we're not going to kill you. Don't worry.
Tell you see my face. You must die.
But we
and
won't actually kill you.
And Gil, about this time you're coming into like you come into this and you've got this gnome holding a finger. He's sitting on top of the guy, like binding his hand. The big guy is all tied up and looks deeply concerned. Uh, and
Hi,
even
Gil.
the guy holding the scimitar also looks deeply concerned. Uh, um, um, are you a lawman? The big guy asks. You're muted.
Uh,
What happened? It only been a few minutes since I showed up.
I turned myself in. The big guy. Just like, just get me out of here. Just take me to jail. I'm
Oh,
fine
come
with
on.
that.
Tell you don't want to stay and play with us?
No, I don't. I have no desire to stay in a room with you freaking lunatics.
That's fair.
Yes.
They both, I think, are ready to go to jail and tell you whatever you would like to know.
Okay.
Man,
And
this this police work thing is really easy.
Mhm.
so I'm gonna double check the bindings and make sure they're tied up pretty well, but still able to walk. And
Well, the one guy is not tied up. The only thing currently holding him down is the nutsack in front of his face.
I'm gonna take my rope and I'm gonna tie him up.
Probably solid.
And yeah, and then we're gonna start walking back.
Oh,
And,
you not want to like check the premises and pick up the stones over there that contact this guy's bosses?
hmm.
We could just call the
Hmm.
bosses and have them come here.
I mean, I suspect that they would probably not want to do that. But
From what I've been, I've been in this town for a little while, and from what I gathered, they usually don't hang out all together. So either way, I'm
yeah.
going to interrogate them.
Okay. I can just go ahead and pick everything up in the house and bring it to the office if you would like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do that. We'll do that.
If you need
Mainly,
help with the questions, I'm really good at asking the questions.
I've got my ways as well, so I
I,
think I'll be okay.
I mean, he is
But if you
good
like
at
to
asking questions.
escort, if you like to escort us back, just to make sure they don't run off, we could do that.
Eden, what are we doing?
Well, I think we should probably pick up everything inside this house first, and then we should follow them back.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. And I'm gonna look over at the other two and said, "You two, sit, wait."
They just kind of, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, now that the lawman is here, you guys are totally safe.
Um.
They don't look like they believe you.
Okay, but seeing that one of them is bleeding from the hands and missing a finger, I am going to cast cure wounds on them just to help them out a little bit.
Still missing a finger, but at least they're not bleeding anymore. So, that's nice. Um, yeah. So you guys are able to pretty much toss the house and get everything important out of it. And
Making sure we check floorboards and, bedposts and all that jazz.
you are able to find a significant. Actually, like roll me an investigation. Anybody who's
Oh man, that is not my strong suit.
I'm
well,
taking
Eric,
my axe to the
roll.
floorboards, trying to find like hidden compartments.
Yeah. Uh, give me a roll. You have plenty of
Ooh.
time.
Natural 20 on an investigation.
Sweet. Very nice. Very nice. So,
18.
oh yeah. You guys are doing
Mark
pretty
18.
good. So you guys managed to find it's not in the floorboard, but it's like in one of the cabinets, kind of to the back. It looks a little weird. And you tap it and it's hollow, so moving that aside, there is a whole little space that leads to like past a false wall. So practically this whole wall of this little house is insulated by all of these like glass vials and packages of like kind of more crystalline versions of it.
Are these
As
all
well.
like the memory stuff?
Yeah, most of this is memory stuff. There are also some other illicit substances as well, but you gather that that is a secondary thing for this particular group. Um, so they have kind of another powdery sort of cocaine-ish stuff. They've got some other things like that, but much smaller quantities. So this is their main trade. And there is a spot under the floorboards where there is copious amounts of money.
Well,
So
we're taking
yep, yep.
that and the
Uh,
dreams. We're taking the dreams too, or the memory.
Yeah, Eden is definitely holding on to those. But
all right, all right.
even if
So
they're evidence.
yeah, Lawman, how do you feel about this? Like they're stuffing all of this in their bag. Is that a problem with you?
Well, given that there's a lot of stuff and it'd be more convenient to put in the bag, um, as long as they turn it over back at the station, it'll be okay.
Yeah, that's definitely what's gonna happen.
Yay. Okay. Good deal. So yeah, you've now got a gigantic bag full of drugs and gold. Um, good
Like we
on
do.
you. Good on you. Sure. Okay, so yeah, you're able to toss the place, get what you need, get the sending stones, and you're solid. Um, taking them back to the station, I assume.
Taking back to the station.
Alrighty. Tell you what, know we were kind of losing Keith there, and it is 11:30, or past 11:30 here, so past midnight for you guys. Does this feel like an all right spot to stop?
Well, Reagan is one of these.
I kind of thought like I didn't hear her say anything, but she disappeared a long time ago. I was like, she must be tired.
She needed
So
to stretch. She was stretching out because, of course, being pregnant, she's always like,
yeah,
so she
yeah.
out. As soon as she finished stretching out, she just
Out. Yeah, we can pick up here next time and figure that out. So schedule wise, she